Alright, hello and welcome back to another episode of the Hartlepool United Youth Academy Road to Glory Career Mode. This was meant to be done yesterday, I'll be honest with you. I'll be just straight transparent with you. This was meant to be done yesterday. I forgot. So basically, we'll be doing the second part of, whatchamacallit? Where are they now? That's the one. Where are they now? And we will be going from M to Z, all the players that I missed out on the last time, and we will be seeing what they're doing, where they are now. I'm trying to remember where I sold them to as well. The club that I sold them to might not necessarily be the club that they're at now, so you have to think about that as well. You have to factor that in, and ultimately, just kind of getting the backstory from the rest of them that I forgot to do last time. I meant to do this yesterday, and this afternoon I will do the Champions League final. That'll still be in effect. I'll try and get this uploaded on the YouTube channel by 2 p.m. and then at 2 p.m. today, you'll get a notification. Obviously, if you follow on Twitch, I will be doing the Champions League final and hopefully winning it. But you know, tails can end in their own way, or tails can end in the game's way. I guess we'll see. But ultimately, that will be this afternoon. Because it's a leap year, I thought it's a chance to do it once for the next 4 years. It's a special day kind of thing. Why not do the Champions League final today? That's kind of why I've been delaying it a little bit, as well as being busy, of course. So that's how we're going to go with that. But without any further ado, I suppose we will continue with the list of names in front of me and getting through the rest of them to see where they are now, I suppose. So we're starting with M, of course. We finished off on L last time, starting with M. So that will be Malcolm K up first. Malcolm K, if I could spell his name correctly. We're in the money. There he is, Malcolm K. He is now a 71 overall at Cosenza. I don't think that's where we sold him. I think we sold. I want to say we sold him in the English league somewhere. I could be wrong. We might actually have sold him to Cosenza. I couldn't be none the wiser. I probably should have done a bit more research checking where we sold these guys. But I can't remember where we sold him. Just to get the list up here of where we got him. I want to say he was a season oneer. He was a season oneer. Coming into the academy at 48 overall, he had 60 to 82 potential. So he's right in the middle of his bracket there at 71 overall, which isn't bad whatsoever. You've got to respect that, I suppose. And he's doing well at Cosenza, value of 2.1 million. It was right to sell him, obviously, as you can see, but not bad stats at all. 6'2", the Scotsman. He's somewhat fast. 72 acceleration, but 84 sprint speed, 83 jumping, 83 strength. Aggression's good. Defending stats could probably be a little bit better, to be honest, but not awful. The tackling's alright, the heading's alright. Some green on there, but Malcolm K, he was one of the ones I think we were just right at the very start, just trying to get a team together. I think on this list he's actually the sixth person that came through in this team. So he'll have been off the very first scout report probably as well. So he's been here. He's been in this his save for a time, but he is now at Cosenza, and hopefully he's doing well. I'm not going to go into every league table and check where they are, but I'm going to do it for the first one because I'm kind of interested, to be honest. Maybe I should have done this partway through, but I suppose it would have taken way too much time. But I'm assuming Cosenza are in Serie B, and they are um, in 19th. So not fantastic, I suppose. But at least they're not bottom. You got to respect that. At least they're not bottom. Up next, then, a man who may get minutes in the Champions League final. I never expected him to get this far, to be honest with you. I never expected him to get to this point. I thought he would burn out quite early and we'd have to find a replacement. We did find a replacement, of course, but not an actual complete replacement. This man still gets many a game. It is Malik Diop. Now, I didn't think he was going to grow beyond about 80 or 81, and his potential said that he wasn't going to grow beyond about 80 or 81, but now he's an 87. So I don't know what's happened with him, but dynamic potential has done wonders for this guy. He is the Senegalese CDM that we've been using for quite a lot of the way through. And I feel like that just this season we had to upgrade a little bit because he was making too many mistakes. But then again, this season he's actually been quite good. And so it's been a battle between him and Peters, who we'll cover later, to see who gets to keep that spot. But he has done really well from where I thought he was going to be. 87 overall, incredible physical stats, 91 acceleration, 89 sprint speed. Sometimes doesn't feel like it, if I'm being honest. It feels a bit clunky, but all green in the physicals, good stamina, good strength, and the mentals are nearly there as well. Aggression 85, interceptions 88. Only orange one is the attack position, but he's a CDM, so you'd expect the attack position. Then when you look at this, ball control's really good somehow, dribbling's decent, long pass, defensive awareness, the tackling is phenomenal, the short pass is good as well. And there's probably a case, and I'm just going to double check this because I'm not actually going to do it. But I think way back when I was thinking about it as well. From Elite D up, there was probably a case to put him in centre back. I never did it. I was never going to do it. And he couldn't do it anyway. 126 weeks apparently. I don't know why, because he's got pretty good defensive stats. Maybe it's because of his potential. But of course, as you move forward, he doesn't really have the same properties. So yeah, maybe would have been able to go centre back once upon a time. But at 5'11", I wasn't really fussed about using him there. He's fine in midfield, and he's done most of the time. He's done a very good job. 5'11", like I said, he has got 78 jumping, so he wouldn't have got too high when he jumped either. But a very good player, one of the legends of this team, in my opinion, and hopefully I can squeeze in some minutes for him in that Champions League final. It'll probably be Peters that starts because we want to go as strong as we can. But Diop deserves some minutes, and I'll try and get some minutes on that pitch for him. And if I don't, then I apologise, but I'll do my best to try and get some minutes for a Senegalese midfielder. Up next then on the list, Mariano Martinez. Now, this is a difficult one because I wouldn't have minded keeping this man. But again, the influx of wingers, for some reason, he hasn't kept his scout report, which is interesting. But I do have his overall written down, thankfully. It's a good job I wrote this one down even. Because for whatever reason, it's just canned his rating off. If I can just find it, we'll be in the money. Was he a season oneer? He might have been a season twoer. No, he was a season oneer. 55 overall, 71 to 94 potential, and as of latest writing, he is a 77 overall. I think it might be 78 now for all we know, but it's 77 overall. For whatever reason, his scout report's disappeared, and I'm not entirely sure why, but it's not bad, I suppose. Agility, ball control, acceleration, sprint speed, and dribbling. This is a man that I did want to sell eventually, I think, but I think I sold him for too little amount of money. I tried to counter with an offer, and I didn't counter with enough. I didn't put enough money down. I could have got a bit more for him. I think he was like worth 3.8 million or something at the time, and I asked for 4.5 or something. I could have easily got like 6 or 7 perhaps if I just pushed a bit more, but I pressed the wrong button and I did the wrong thing, and everything went wrong there. But we did sell him to Antwerp. The plan was to sell him eventually because it was between him and Ojeda for most of the series who I would keep. I ended up keeping neither because both of them grew at the same rate. And in the end, it was too slow for us to work with in the Premier League because they stopped at about 80 overall each. We needed a bit better than that. We already had better than that in the club, hence why they got moved on. We'll get to Ojeda in a little bit. But Mariano Martinez out at Antwerp, 77 rated now, which ain't bad. Ain't bad at all. Can't complain about that. But a season oneer, and he was good when we had him, but was never really going to make it to the end. Another Mariano up next on the Where Are They Now? It is Mariano Vergara. I don't know how many people remember this man. I vaguely remember him. I think we played him at left back, even though he was a right back, or I played him at right back, even though he was a left back. One of them. He is here at Alanyaspor. Now, hasn't really grown since we sold him, which is kind of mad when you think about it. I thought at one point he'd have decent potential. To be fair, he did have decent potential, but just never really realised it. He was always behind somebody, I believe, in our squad at that right back spot. Would it be Moffat? Would it be Maxwell? There was somebody else there as well. We've already read them out, but I can't remember their name. But there was always a candidate. It was Anderson, Blake Anderson. There was always a candidate that was just a little bit better than him at right back. But he was another season oneer. I think he's written actually right below Martinez, if I can find the page. I need that bookmark again so I don't lose where I was. But where is he? Mariano Martinez. Not Martinez. The other one. Vergara. Did I write him down? Oh, I did write him down. He's 2 above Martinez. Overall 52, potential 67 to 91, so he never quite realised his potential, which was half to be expected because he never really got any game time, even in League 2. And also, he hasn't really grown since, so it makes a bit more sense. Athleticism and defending's all right. Sprint speed, acceleration. I mean, the acceleration's good. Sprint speed is a bit slow. Strength, stamina, aggression, decent. Not really a lot of everything else, so a lot in the red, to be honest with you. But defensive awareness, heading accuracy, and stand tackle are alright. But the rest of it is I know he's a defender, but he's a right back as well, so you wanted him to attack a bit. It's not fantastic, I should say. We'll leave it at that. Not brilliant. But it was an alright all-round centre back for the, or right back, I should say, for the league we were in at the time. But even then, we had better right backs, so he just didn't get the game time, and that's probably what's fucked his career a bit. Truth be told, it's unfortunate, but it's the way it goes sometimes in this career mode. So, like I said, 52 overall when he came through, 67 to 91 potential. Didn't quite realise it, but that's Mariano Vergara for you, and he's now in Turkey, playing away, just playing away. No one's stopping him yet, which is kind of concerning because he's not brilliant, but you know, he'll get there. Still got time on his side. He's only 23. Or is he 25? He's young anyway. Up next, then a man that I didn't really want to part ways with, to be honest, because he was really good, and the only reason we did part ways with him in the end was with the return of Aiden Sutherland. It's Mario Orellana, who we signed at, I think he was 17 years of age, and he was about 77, 78 rated. He was mad high rated, so we brought him in. Unfortunately, he was near his potential already, but mad high rated, and incredible left back. He could also probably double up as a winger if you really wanted, but we used him as a left back. And he's not bad at all. It's just like the story. The story with Sutherland had to come first and foremost, bringing Sutherland back to Hartlepool, and then Moffat was still on performance duties. Then he was still performing really well. So it was just unlucky that Mario Oriana got squeezed out of the side, but he was very good when we had him, and more an attacker and a defender, really, to be honest. But he was still solid for me, in my opinion, anyway. Quite fast with a 95 acceleration and a 91 sprint speed. All the physicals in the green as well. 92 stamina, 81 strength. Jumping at 84. Maybe could have doubled up as a centre back if necessary. Aggression 75, interceptions 82. But yeah, you can see some of these stats here. 73 dribbling, 73 crossing. That's about it, really, actually. 68 ball control as well. He could have maybe, if we wanted to push him in that direction, we probably could have gone to left mid, but we pushed him more as a defender, hence why the defensive stats are in the green as well. 77 defensive awareness, 79 slide tackle, 83 stand tackle as well. So not bad at all, Mario Oriana. But yeah, it was just a victim of circumstance. We wanted to bring Sutherland back. Moffat was always going to remain around as well. We didn't have any plans to sell Douglas Moffat, and it just meant that he was the odd man out. Mario Oriana, he's out in Valencia now, hopefully doing bits for his team. But no complaints from me there. It was a right sale to make when we sold him, but also he would have been a good player to keep had we chosen to. He's still showing great potential, but his potential has already been hit, for reference. So that is a straight up white lie there. But definitely a player that was quite good for us. And I just wish I could have given him more time, but with the whole Sutherland thing, we couldn't. Now, next man for me personally is the Streets Won't Forget. Quite low. I love him quite a lot, but again, his rating was never going to carry him with us all the way. His potential was never going to carry him with us all the way. It is, of course, Marius Thomas. What a bloke. I don't know what it was about him, but he was just so fun to use in midfield. And he was not. I don't even remember. I don't think he was that good. I think he was just fun to use with shooting sometimes. He could always pick out the right ball. He was always in the right place. I can't really complain about him, to be honest. He was a very good player, and I really enjoyed using him. I have noticed something as well, by the way. I missed out somebody, like completely. I didn't write a name down on one of the other pages, so we'll do him next after this one. But Marius Thomas, he is a baller now for Anderlecht. He had loan spells with us, I'm pretty sure. We tried to grow his rating a bit, tried to get him to a level where we could use him for a long time. And he doesn't look awfully bad, but again, not really at our level anymore, unfortunately. 78 acceleration, 80 sprint speed, decent speed for a cam. Agility is quite good. Some other stats are quite bad. The strength at 6'2", maybe you don't want him to be a physical cam because he wouldn't be. He's got 51 strength. Composure, attacking position, and vision aren't bad though, and quite a lot in the green on the technicals as well. The passing is decent. The long shots, that's why I used him, because I like the long shots. I like to pop a long shot with him every now and then. I don't think many went in because he was a League 2 player and League 1 player, but I did enjoy using him while we had him. I think we had him for a few seasons. And he was really fun to use, so I can't complain there. If I just get the scout report here, I think he was a season 1er as well. He might be a season 2er, actually. I don't remember if I scouted for season 1. I did. 56 overall with 67 to 91 potential. He's not a 74, so he's well in that potential bracket. And I'm glad he's realised that he can play football at a competent level. I just wish he could have done it for us, but it's just the way sometimes the cookie crumbles, sometimes the ratings don't work out as you want to, and Streets won't forget from me personally, and a very good player for us from France. Now, the player I forgot to write down completely, and I have absolutely no idea how I forgot to write down completely. I think it's because we signed him on a free, and it never came up on the business, and it is this man, who is still with us, and will start the Champions League final, Juan Carlos Serrano. How I forgot this man is beyond me. How I didn't write this man down is beyond me because he has been a key part in these past 2 seasons of our squad. We signed this man for free. Ternana couldn't renew his contract. We got him in a pre-contract expiry, and he could play a bevy of positions. Like he was left wing, striker, cam. In the end, we settled on cam. I'll show you actually in the squad because it's probably easier to show because level his positions there, and also we still have him, so it's easier to do it this way. But here he is, Juan Carlos Serrano, cam at centre forward, right wing, right mid. He probably would have been better as a winger, truth be told, when you look at his stats. 91 pace, 91 dribbling. But with the wing spaces occupied, and I did not want to change him at that point, as well as the striker spaces occupied, he went back to cam because it was something we really needed. And he's done the job really well. I think we signed him in as a centre forward, and we pushed him back to cam. He has good speed, good finishing, just a good everything. Everything you want in the cam, he's got it. He has everything. Maybe the free kicks could be a little bit better, but that's not the end of the world. We're not going to cry over that. We don't win a lot of free kicks, and even when we do, I'm pretty sure someone else takes them anyway. But Juan Carlos Serrano, he is an all-round beast. And to say we got him for free and could probably sell him for over 100 million is a madness, to be honest. It's quite a madness. I'm very happy that we got that business over the line, even if it didn't look great. Well, I mean, it always looked great at the time, but even if it wasn't smart at the time because we didn't really need him. But I can't turn down a bargain like that, to be honest with you. And because I didn't write him down, I don't have any info on him. But I'm pretty sure we signed him at 86 overall. He's now grown to an 89 since. Take a look at his stats as you saw just there. Speed, fantastic. Physical's fantastic. The only thing that lets him down is his strength. He doesn't really need that. Attacking position and vision is great. And pretty much all of his technicals on the green, aside from free kick accuracy, defensive awareness, slide tackle, and stand tackle, which you don't need as a cam. So he's not really going to worry about that. But as I said, he probably would be better on the wing. And I bet if I went to a development plan and put him on the wing, it would only take 2 weeks. But we've got the wingers that I want. And we needed a cam at that point. So we brought in Serrano, moved him to cam. And in the end, he's balled out for us. But yeah, a wing or a centre forward switch would be done inside 2 weeks. But like I said, he's been very important from that cam role. 24 goals from cam, along with 14 assists. You can't understate that from Juan Carlos Serrano. I don't know how I forgot to write his name down, but I did. And I've just realised that now. So we've got a little haywire from the M to Z, but you can't miss out Juan Carlos Serrano. There's probably other players I've missed. Maybe one other player I've missed and just forgot to write down somewhere along the line. But there's so many players that I had to write down that I'm obviously going to miss a couple. And I apologise for that if I have. And if there's one of your favourites you want to see and I've missed them, let me know the name and I will do a wordy now. But it's the way it is. Sometimes the brain doesn't quite work. Martin Guzman up next. If I can spell his name. I started with an A for some reason there, but it's Martin Guzman. And this is a man, I'm going to be honest, at first I forgot. At first I forgot he was with us. But it looks like he's done quite well for himself, to be honest with you. And I've got to respect it. I've got to respect it. We probably could have kept him on and made him into something if I'd thought about it. But Douglas Moffat had already made that spot his own at that point. But Martin Guzman now at Excelsior in the Netherlands, in the Eredivisie. He's doing quite well. He's doing pretty good. He's grown quite well to a 78 overall, 83 acceleration, 85 sprint speed. All of his physicals in the green, apart from his balance, which is pretty much there. 69 balance, but everything else is very good. But he's 5'7", would never made it as a centre back, to be honest. So the jumping doesn't really matter too much. Aggression 73. And he's actually not bad all round, you know. I wonder what he would have become if he'd stayed with us, thinking on it now. Because I feel like he would have been a monster. I feel like he would have been a brilliant player. And I guess we'll just never find out. As it is, he's done very well to get to where he is with Excelsior. I don't think that's where we sold him, but it's where he's ended up. I honestly I should maybe have written down where we sold these players, but I completely dead-ass forgot, and also dead-ass didn't think it mattered as much, to be honest with you. But Martin Guzman, let's get the report on him. I think he was a season winner as well, that Spanish report, a Spanish contingent of Martinez and Vergara and all that. I believe he's a season winner. He was a season winner. Overall, 56, potential of 78 to 94. So he was always highly rated by the game, and he's got into his very high potential bracket as well. So I've only got applause to give him, the credit to give him that he's actually got there, and he's done really well since being there. I didn't remember him actually using him that much. I don't think we actually did use him that much, but he does look very good. And Excelsior got a gem there, and I'm wondering where are they in the table. I'll only check these for select players that either I've forgotten or have done better than I thought. And we're obviously going to do a review after the Champions League final of everything anyway. Excelsior 14th, so they're not near the bottom. They've done quite well to avoid relegation. With Guzman being there, it's probably a big part of it. Up next then on the list, I have another day winner, the second of the 3 day winners on the first ever scout report that we brought up and tried to make something out of. And this is a man I wish we had made something out of, but the problem was, and he's got to a 74, which ain't bad. The problem was with Martin Munoz is he had all the winger attributes, but as you look at his height, he is 6'3". Now, a lot of people like to use maybe tall wingers. I hate it. They just feel clunky. And when you try and move them on the ball, it just doesn't feel like they're actually moving. It just feels like trying to move a player through concrete, in my opinion. Martin Munoz was one of them where we actually used him. He was good on his day, but his day didn't arrive a lot. And because he was a 6'3" winger, I just found it hard to work with him. And I tried to move him anywhere else, but his stats are built for a winger, so you couldn't really move him anywhere else and get away with it. The athleticism, technical ability, passing's all decent. Acceleration and sprint speed solid, but he just didn't feel like he had that because he was taller. Agility 86, balance 73. All around, his wing stats are actually quite good. But like I said, I just can't use tall wingers, so we had to move him on. We did move him on. I think it was Familisao who moved him on too, and he's grown to a 74. So I don't know when he plateaued. But if we take a look at this report here, of course he was a day winner, so he's actually number one on this page. 53 overall, 64 to 88 potential. He never may have made it like to his top end of his potential, but he's done quite well. 74 overall. It's just my gripe that he couldn't do anything else. If he was 6'3" and could play somewhere else, God knows what he could have done with us. He actually might have been able to stay with us. But as you can see, all the stats lend it to right wing. There was an outside chance we could have put him to cam, but I think that took long enough as well. I think that took about a year to try and do, if I remember the position change, or it took a while to try and do, because I would have done it if it had been quick. But hence we had to sell him instead because I wasn't able to move him off the right wing, wasn't able to use him, and that's nothing against him. It's maybe just me. But Martin Munoz, one of the day winners, one of the I wouldn't say streets won't forget, but I won't forget him because he was in the first ever scout report, and he's already made himself a name that way, and he's done well at Familisao since. So up next on the list then, Mateo Rojas. You might not remember this name either, but this is a goalkeeper. It's quite funny, the story behind this, but we'll find him first and then we'll get into the story. He is now at Cercle Bruges, not scouted for some reason. Either I forgot to scout him or I scouted him and his report's gone as well for some reason. But we'll put scout him anyway, not that it really matters at this point because I think I wrote his stuff down. Oh no, I didn't. He is a free agent. So maybe I didn't write his stuff down. Yeah, this is a rare occasion where I don't have his current overall because either I scouted him and it didn't save, or I didn't scout him and it didn't save. One of them. But anyway, Mateo Rojas, he was the story behind it's funny anyway. We got him from Tranmere because we needed a backup, and when we played Tranmere, I think the first time, he was on fire, just stopped everything we put at him. So we said, fuck it, we're signing him. We did a Jurgen Klopp on him. We just signed him because he was good against us. And in the end, it left Tranmere with 0 goalkeepers. And I just want to quickly check. 9 seasons in, surely they have a goalkeeper at this point. You'd like to hope. But you just never know with this game. They do. Thomas Haas, they only have one. I'm sure he's probably been there a while now, 22 years of age. But for long enough, they didn't have a goalkeeper. And that was because we poached Mateo Rojas off them. And I think the other one, either his contract expired or he just left as well. Because he did have 2 when we signed Rojas. And because of that, they're struggling in League 2 still in 13th place. But they are still doing alright. Not doing too bad at the end of the day. So, where I've not saved his name. Oh, no, I did save his name, but he it's reset. But yeah, Rojas. There's a lot of Rojases. but this was our one, and it was quite funny. I didn't get his rating, which sucks. It wouldn't scout him in time, but I'm gonna get. I had him down here on my writing here as he was a 67 overall when we brought him in. I think he grew a little bit. I'm gonna guess like 72, 73 kind of overall now, which ain't bad for a goalkeeper, and he's in the Belgian league now, so that's all there is. What's up, Cammy? Welcome, mate. I'm just doing like a word now, just kind of reporting on all these players we've used this whole series and kind of getting the history on them, see if we can find where they've gone, sort of thing. So up next it is Mikael Patterson, or Pettersson actually. He is still with us. He's on loan at Sion, which he's doing quite well at, to be honest. 70 rated. I think he's grown quite a lot this season. But he's not really got a lot of story behind him because everyone's got him. Try to remember where, like, not where, but try to remember how much overall he's grown this season. He's got 4 on his loan spell, so that's not bad at all. And there's a potential to grow by more if we were to continue this save, but if we win the Champions League, it's not going to be continued because we've done what we needed to do. Of course, I'll be doing the Champions League final this afternoon. Moment of truth, really, with that. So, take a look at his stats. Just because he's come through recently doesn't mean the stats are that bad. Athleticism is alright. Good speed, 83 acceleration, 75 sprint speed. Could work on that. Stamina is good as well. Strength for a left back is solid. The jumping sucks, but he's 5'9" anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. The mental stats are alright. And he's obviously still on the way up, so all these stats won't be completely finished yet. But 72 defensive awareness, 69 slide tackle, 81 head accuracy, and 71 stand tackle. Not bad at the end of the day. It's a player in progress, really, and he's showing on his stats. But he'll get better. He will get better, Mikael Pettersson. And I'm trying to remember when we signed him. We signed him in... I wrote it down somewhere, but I don't know where the fuck I wrote it down. There it is, Season 7. Overall 54, potential of 74 to 94. So he's nearly at his potential bracket, and he will hit that, because he looks like he's growing quite well. Up next, then, on the list... oh god, this might be the worst player of the lineup we used. Out of all the players you used in this save, he might be the worst one. Mashengu Shabalala. And I can explain, alright? I can explain on this one. We were trying to get a Shabalala because it was my manager's name, and I wanted to get Shabalala in the team. So I just signed every Shabalala that came through on the report. This guy is absolutely probably the worst player we've churned out of the academy because he's only 54 rated. A sort of low review, that's good. Hope the career mode is going well. We're doing really well, yeah. We're in the Champions League final, which I'm going to play later. But this is kind of just to see where all the players that we used along the way have gone. I just thought it'd be interesting to do. It'd be quite fun to do to see who succeeded and who failed along the way. But this man absolutely failed. He is god awful. Never expected him to be anything, to be honest. His potential didn't really lend itself to be good anyway. But 26 years of age, he's 54 rated. He might as well hand in his fucking football boots and make a career in McDonald's. 65 acceleration, 67 sprint speed, 72 jumping, and 75 strength. I think the other reason I signed him as well was because he was 6'7", and at the time I didn't really have tall centre backs. So I think bringing in a 6'7" man was kind of appealing at that point. Aggression's decent, but not a single technical stat. Even in the yellow, his best stats are 58 slide tackle and 58 heading accuracy. Jesus, his defensive awareness for a centre-back is 32. Now, I'm not being funny, but at that point, I'd either hand in your fucking resignation or maybe try playing somewhere else. He might have been better somewhere else. It looks like he might have been better as a winger, but I'm not having a 6'7" winger. But anyway, Shabalala, I've got him written down here. I wonder what the game said about his potential when we brought him in. Probably not very high. Overall 44, potential of 51 to 69. Yeah, not great. But I think it's just because he was 6'7" that we brought him in. So that's why he was probably not treated too well. And he ended up being quite shy. But he's actually in his potential bracket. Because his potential was 51 to 69 when we brought him in. He's made it to a 54. So you got to respect that. But he is absolute garbage. No offense to the lad. Up next, a man who is absolute garbage as well. But it's our fault, really, more than his fault, because he's actually really good. I just didn't know how to use him properly, and it is another Shabalala, but it's a very good Shabalala. Musanguli Shabalala was the one I wanted to take all the way to the Champions League final, and I just couldn't justify it because even though his stats look really good, I just didn't know how to get the best out of him. Every time I tried to take a shot with him, it went wide. Every time I tried to cross with him, it went poorly. Every time I tried to pass with him, it just didn't go right. I don't know what was wrong with us and him, but it didn't really work out for us. But we made money back on him anyway. Of course we did because he was a youth academy player. But we managed to sell him to Barcelona for around 100 million. And I think he's doing well there, and I hope he does well there. But I couldn't get to grips with him, if that makes sense. Sometimes it's just kind of you kind of just don't know how to use a player, and he was it. His stats are really good as well. There's nothing wrong with his stats. It's just I couldn't really get to grips with him. 89 acceleration, 96 sprint speed, 89 agility, 86 jumping, 93 stamina, 90 strength, aggression, attacking position, and vision, all good. And his stats all around are even quite good. Just I could have moved him maybe backwards into cam or something. He would have done fine, but it just feels like it was a wrong player, wrong time kind of thing. Because he does look really good, I just couldn't get to grips with him. 93 ball control, 97 dribbling. You wouldn't know it. I couldn't dribble for shit with this guy. Maybe it was me that was probably not him. 93 long shots, 89 passing, 83 finishing, 82 crossing, 81 shot power. I could go on. The stats are brilliant, but it just didn't work out. And I wish it had done because he was quite fun to use when I could use him. It's just a lot of the time I couldn't, which sucked. But he's doing well in Barcelona, and they got to the quarterfinals, I believe. Or, yeah, they did get to the quarterfinals. Not I believe they did, because we knocked them out at the quarterfinal stage. So I can remember that. Or it was around the 16, one of them. But he was a good player. He had all the attributes. I just couldn't use him. Got any ideas for the next manager mode team? Aberdeen. I don't know yet. I was thinking of going for Uh, I was thinking of Reading, to be honest, in League One, because it'd be a bit of a grind, but I don't have to go all the way to start of League Two. But maybe I will do a Scottish team. That could be quite fun. Try to bring someone in to break the old firm. Aberdeen could be interesting. I don't know. Maybe Hearts or Hibs or something like that. But where was I? Next, Nemeni Nkosi. Now, this is a man who I did quite like, but at one point I quite hated because he would just not leave the club when I wanted him to, because I wanted to sell him for so long, and he just every offer I tried to accept, he would just turn down. We wanted to stay here. Eventually, we forced him out to Basel, but he wasn't a bad left back in any consideration. Again, it was another story of someone was always better than him, so they got the spot ahead of him. He got plenty of game time, but there's always somebody better than him to start. And that's why he didn't really get maybe to the potential that he deserved to get to. It's 74 rated, 82 acceleration, 78 sprint speed. He's not bad at all. 82 stamina. Most of his physicals are in the green. Aggression and interceptions are decent. Could have done a bit better on his technicals, but defensive awareness, head and accuracy, and stand tackles are quite good as well. So he's an alright for the level he's at, which is Basel in the Belgian league, and they were in the Champions League this year along with us. They were in our group. We did see him in Nkosi on an occasion. I believe he got subbed on as well when we played against Basel one of those times. So we did see him again, but he's probably found his level. He wouldn't really made it with us anyway. I think his potential was about 74. If I go into the youth academy when we got him, I think he was a season oneer as well. There's a lot of season oneers here. They just stuck around for maybe too long. Or was he a season two? No, there he is. Season 1, 56 overall, 67 to 91 potential. He's made it to 74, so he's in the potential bracket. But yeah, I don't think he would have ever made it with us. And at 5'5", he was never able to go anywhere else, really. A bit of a small player, but not bad for when we had him, when we needed him. Up next, and this is a player that I forgot we had, but this was at the stage where we were just bringing in players to start the team off. And there's probably quite a few with the same name, so I'll have to try and find the right one. It's the left wing. It's Nathan Wood. He is in Turkey now. Again, didn't really work out, but I didn't really expect him to work out. He was just to start the team off. I think he was our first left winger we signed in, aside from the day oneers. Although I think Munoz we signed as a right wing anyway. If I just find him, we'd have a lot of wing options at that point. I think no, he was a second winger behind Brandon Steele. Looking at this, so yeah, never was going to be anything special. 54 overall when he came into the academy, with 54 to 74 potential, so not a lot of growth. was going to be had in the first place. We've got him to a 63, which I think is respectable, and he's in Turkey now. We don't have to worry about him too much. He didn't look fantastic, really. Sprint speed's not too bad. Agility and balance is alright, but other than that, it's not fantastic. Ball control and dribbling is decent for a 63, to be honest, and I'm wondering if we could have made a bit more out of him, but I doubt it. I think we probably reached his ceiling quite early at 63 overall. I think we sold him in season 2 or 3. Very early on, we sold him. And it was the right decision in the end, but hopefully he's doing well. Currently doing a manager mode with Club Brugge in Belgium. Good team to do. Low budget teams have to use free agents and scouts. Good team to do there. Home kit looks like an old Rangers kit. Club Brugge are a fun team to use. Or I've seen they've got some fun players anyway. I've seen they've got some fun players to use. I've never actually used a Belgian team before in a career mode. I usually just stick to England because it's got the most like stuff to do in it, really. But I need to try and branch out on my career mode teams a bit more. Up next, then, is this man, and he's quite important to us. Nicholas Nielsen. He is the backup keeper now. Well, I mean, he might still make a case for being the front keeper as well, because him and Hurtado have both been pretty good this season. It's hard to pick between both of them. Who's going to start the Champions League final? I'll probably go with Hurtado. But Nicholas Nielsen has been brilliant all the way through. I think we signed him in, I want to say, season 6. I've written it down, so I can go check. Or was it season 5? It was season 6 when we needed to upgrade on the goalkeeper position on Logan Duncan. So Nicholas Nielsen came in, decently rated. If you can't tell, the regen of Kasper Schmeichel. Danish, 85 rated at this point. Good all-round goalkeeping stats, to be honest. Could do a bit better with the positioning, but it's not the end of the world. 86 diving, 82 kicking, 82 handling. And what is my favourite thing about him, 91 reflexes. He can save pretty much anything, and on his day he usually does. 81 strength as well for a goalkeeper's kind of mad. And 78 reactions is pretty good too. But he was our goalkeeper from season 6 all the way till now. We got him in the championship. He helped us through that season, the promotion season in the championship, and really pushed us up the Premier League table. I feel like we needed to upgrade this season to take it to the next level in the Champions League. But Nielsen's still getting plenty of game time, and he still made plenty of good saves as well, so I can't complain either. But a good buy all round. And because he was a free agent, I believe, or he was very cheap anyway, we would make profit on him if we sold him. 40.5 million was the fee. His overall when we came in was, if I can find it, I've lost it now, I had it. 76 overall when he joined the club, so he's grown quite well in his 3 years, 4 years, whatever, here. He's now at 85, so a very good player along the way, and I can't complain about him. I've not really got any bad things to say about this man, so we shall move on, and we shall enjoy the fact that we had him. Up next on the list, Nicolas Palacios. Now, if I could spell, we'll find him quicker, but I can't, so we will find him now. I believe he was a free agent last time I checked. Still a free agent. How, though, I don't know, because he could do a job for a decent team. League 1, League 2, maybe area. Maybe even a championship team. He could do a decent job. But he's on the free agents now. No chance of us bringing him back, don't you worry. I'm not going to go into every free agent and bring them back to the club. As funny as that would be, and as cool as that would be, probably not going to do that. I don't really think we have any money left anyway. Actually, no, that's a lie. I'm pretty sure we have a lot of money. We either have a lot of money or we have no money. Okay, we have a decent amount, but we don't need to use it. So we'll go back to him now after I've... Why has it cleared it? There he is anyway. We'll go back to him. We'll talk about him. But Nicolas Palacios, he was one of the early left wingers. We were just trying to figure out who we wanted on that left wing. He was an option. Fran Ochoa was an option. Martinez Ojeda, who we'll talk about in a bit, was an option as well. He wasn't bad, but I could never get, for whatever reason, I could never get sprint speed sorted as a winger. He just didn't want to have sprint speed, apparently. Acceleration 86, sprint speed 73, agility 76, balance and stamina at 75, attack position and vision at 74. Not bad all around. And like I said, he can still do quite well for a lower league team. I'm surprised he's on the free agents. I'm assuming his wages wouldn't be much either. 73 ball control, 87 dribbling, 75 free kick accuracy, 73 crossing, and 79 passing. I don't remember where he sold him to either, so I don't know if they'll be able to pick him up again. But Nicolas Palacios, not bad at all. Quite a few stats in the green. some yellows, and I think we just read out his potential, didn't we? Or did I not read out his potential? If not, I will quickly find it. He gives another season oneer. Quite a lot of season oneers because we signed half the world. Just try and make a team in the first place. There he is. 56 overall, 76 to 94 potential. Not quite made his potential, but we'll put that down to being on the free agents, not having a chance to try and break that potential. But Nicholas Palacio, still a decent winger at the start, but ultimately we got better wingers. And again, it was another winger problem where we just had too many. Everybody that came for the academy was a winger at one point. Are you excited? Are you buzzing for Sunday? Not really. It's gonna be a demolition. If we don't concede 5, I will take it as a win. To be honest with you, but Man City probably will win by quite a few. And Kasana and Kosi up next. Another South African. We were mad on South Africans early stages of this career mode because we wanted to try and find the next Shabalala. We didn't succeed. Well, we did find the next Shabalala. He just wasn't playing for us, unfortunately. But Gasana and Kosi, a solid centre mid, but his potential, he had really good potential for a while, and then suddenly it just dropped, and I don't know why, because he was getting plenty of game time, but it was one of those situations where it just dropped. It was a player I would have let keep on a bit longer. 67 athleticism, 67 technical ability, 77 passing. He wasn't bad at all, but at the time we needed better. I think was it when we were in the championship? We wanted to try and get through the playoffs, I think, and we needed to improve on him, so we did. Speed was alright for a centre mid. It's not great. Agility, balance, stamina, reactions, decent for a centre mid. He's got all around decent centre mid stats. Ball control's alright. The passing stats are good. There's not really much up with him. It's just he didn't really grow beyond 74. If I find him in the archives here, I don't know what season we signed him in. I want to say 3. 3 would be a good guess, in my opinion. Season 2. Oh no, season 3. Sorry, yeah, it was season 3. Overall 55, potential 74 to 75 to 94. He's just fallen outside of that potential bracket, but I feel like the game screwed him over a bit there with his potential. For whatever reason, didn't grow how he should have grown, which is kind of annoying. But it is the way it goes sometimes in this game. Sometimes you just don't get what you deserve. But a decent all-round midfielder, and at Aruka, he's probably doing alright. I think that's why we sold him in the first place. And he could always move back to England, probably to a League One team, maybe even a low Championship team, perhaps. Up next, then, on the list is a man that's still with us, and a man that could be another great goalkeeper that we've produced. Unfortunately, we might never find out, but Noah Armstrong looks brilliant. Out on loan at Roma. He's growing really well. At 21 years of age, he's 78 rated. 6'4" as well. So it'll be a good option for, if we don't keep him, whoever gets him. There's a lot of work still to be done that we'll probably try and do on him when he comes back if we do have to go to a season 10. 78 diving, 82 kicking, 71 positioning, 88 handling, and 76 reflexes. 76 reactions as well. He's a decent all-rounder. I'm presuming he's not starting for Roma, but I could be wrong. I'm going to have a look, actually. I need it down here, don't I? I wonder if he is starting for Roma, or if he's just on the bench there. But either way, he's a very good option to have for them. Young goalkeeper, 78 rated, 6'4". He's probably behind Acevedo. Sorry, where is he? Is it because he's on loan he won't appear on this report? They've also got Danny Munoz, so yeah, he's probably definitely behind Danny Munoz, the Navas regen. I don't know why he's not appearing though, but I'm guessing that's because he's on loan. But Armstrong anyway, he's a decent goalkeeper. When we bring him back, he'll probably grow a little bit more. Probably could be like a Higgins type. He'll probably succeed, but not here, unfortunately. But again, these not around goalkeeping stats, and we signed him to the academy in season 6, I want to say, but I need to find it. Season 5, so he's been here in the game a good while. 58 overall, 73 and 94 potential. So he's already broken into his potential bracket. It's just a matter of how far could he go, and I don't know is the answer, but I might find out if I continue to sim this. I might sim this save after I finish it, just to see how these players would do. Maybe. But up next, and there's a cruel twist of fate behind this one, because he was such a good right back, but for whatever reason, we decided that, well, not we decided, the game decided to fuck up his career. Oliver McGregor, ACL injury, never recovered from it. Unfortunate, really, because he was probably what I had in mind to be the end game right back. He had the potential to do it, or at least a backup right back towards the end game. He had showing great potential, so he would hit 80 minimum, but then he had an ACL injury, and unfortunately, he didn't really recover, to be honest with you, and we had to sell him on. He went to Ferrol in the Romanian league, but a decent player, still with decent stats despite that ACL injury. 85 acceleration, 83 sprint speed, 90 stamina. The interceptions are still there as well. I think he lost some stats though because of that injury. Didn't quite, well, couldn't stay in training because he tore his bloody ACL off. But ball control decent. Maybe I could have pushed him forward a bit as well. Defensive awareness 68, slide tackle 62, but stand tackle 78. And when we used him, I don't think he was actually meant to be the starter when we used him either. I think we had somebody else. I think it was Rafael Gomez at that point, who we'll get to in a bit. He was meant to be the starter. And in the end, Oliver McGregor overtook him because he was just playing better. And if it wasn't for that ACL injury, who knows what could have been. But one of my favourite players we had at the time. And then had fantastic all-round stats, still decent all-round stats to see he had that injury. So you got to respect it. Fair play, Mr. McGregor. Either Hearts or Hibs or a different league in a team as a road to glory. Potentially. I don't know if I want to do two at the same time, though, because I'll probably lose my mind. I'll maybe do. I don't know. I'll think about it anyway. I'm still going to do rebuilds, I think, for just now. And then I'll think about it when we've done this career mode and see where we're at after that. Because, I mean, it's a Champions League final today. If I win that, then that's a Hartlepool save done. I'll maybe give it a wee bit and then go into a career mode. And if we lose, I'll have to do another season. So, Ollie Dalton up next, anyway, as you can see on the screen. He is the Aussie that I wish could have worked out because Ollie Dalton's a cool name. He was a good player when we had the chance to use him, but we loaned him out most of the time to try and get the best out of him. And he's actually done quite well for himself at LASK. 25 years of age, 76 overall. Decent summary stats there. 78 acceleration, 83 sprint speed, agility 84. He's probably another one that could have gone on the wing if I wanted him to. I think we did sign him as a winger. But again, we had way too many wingers at that point. But the stats technically are pretty good. 84 ball control, 80 dribbling, 79 free kick accuracy. If we could do with a free kick taker, to be honest, he could come in. Long pass 79, long shot 73, curve 75, short pass 79. Decent stats all around, and he's done well for himself, the Aussie. None of our Aussies really worked out. I wish they had done. But he's done alright in LASK. That's Denmark, I want to say. And if I find where I wrote his name down, he was a long termer. I think it was like season 3. We've done the Aussie Scout report. There he is, Ollie Dalton. Overall of 55. Potential is 73 to 94. So he got into his potential bracket, which is decent as well. You got to respect it. 76 overall. And a player that was quite fun to use when we had him, but was never really going to make it, unfortunately. And we knew that from early, but it would have been nice if we could have kept him around. Up next, and this is a man attack. The amount of people I've forgotten we had is kind of embarrassing, really, but it's been a long series. But Omar Hassan is the next on the ones we forgot that we had. Only came in for a cup of coffee with us, I think. I believe we swapped him for somebody. I do not remember who. I believe when we signed somebody else, we swapped him as part of the deal, and that's how he ended up at his current club. I just thought, was it? I don't remember who he did. I think it might have been Ramon Alonso. No, because Ramon Alonso was beforehand. I don't remember. Either way, we swapped him away for somebody, and I can't remember who we swapped him away for, but he has turned out to be quite decent, to be honest. I think we signed him quite high overall as well. 79 athleticism, 71 defending, decent physical stats, only 1 in the yellow, and decent mental stats as well. Actually, not a bad all-round right back in the end as it goes. Tackling's decent, dribbling's alright, crossing's decent for a right back as well. So not a bad player, but I just forgot we had him. There's a lot that I forgot we had because we had so many. When did we even sign him? Maybe he was the Alonso replacement, or maybe Alonso replaced him. When did we bring him in? Where did I write him down? We brought him in season 6. So he was a later on addition. So I'm trying to figure out who I swapped him for. It might have been for Iago Flores actually, who we'll get to down the line as well. But Omar Hassan, 73 rated when we brought him in. He's now at 76. So he's grown a few ratings. I think he was at his potential when we signed him, though. Um, but that is where we're at with him. Looks decent. I just forgot we had him. And he wouldn't get back into the team now, unfortunately. But he's decent for Atletico Tucumán. He could probably come in and be a decent championship right back. But he's not chosen that path, apparently. Oh, boy. Well, if you win the Champions League, throw a few teams into a poll of that. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably get a few suggestions and chuck them in a poll and see what happens. Judas up next. There's a funny story behind this one, which honestly I could have prevented this. And he's actually turned out good as well. For fuck's sake, why did he turn out good? Judas himself, Pal Person. I always knew he was going to turn out good, but I just couldn't keep him after what he did to us. So basically, season 5, I think it was, we were in the playoff final with Luton to get up to the Premier League. He was on loan to Luton from us. I should have called him back. But completely forgot. What's up, Mad Martian, mate? Welcome. But I should have completely called him back and it went straight out of my mind. He scored 2 goals for Luton as they defeated us to get to the Premier League. So he beat his parent club. He was signed with us, loaned out to Luton. He scored 2 for Luton, passed us, got them to the Premier League, but forgot that he had to come back to us after he'd done that. So he helped a team that he wasn't even permanently at to beat the team that he was permanently at. And we had no choice but to sell him because of what he did. But I guess I'm happy that he's turned out good. I couldn't keep him here after his betrayal. Athleticism 81, shooting 81. He actually looks like it could have been a player we could have brought back, but I would have never brought him back. Judas. I never forget. 93 acceleration, 94 sprint speed, 84 agility, 86 strength, 81 stamina. Actually, he's turned out to be quite a little tank of a striker. If we hadn't sold him, he probably would have been where Jesper Karlsson is now, as our 3rd or 4th choice striker, getting all these moments that Karlsson's been getting, to be honest, because he's actually better than Karlsson on the stats, I hate to admit, but 75 ball control, 88 finishing, 79 head accuracy, 86 shot power, 83 volleys, 79 long shots. He is quite a good striker, and I'm surprised he stayed at 20, to be honest. He could get a big move. He deserves a big move, but we could also have brought him back, and there's part of me wishing I hadn't sold him because I knew he was going to be good, but you can't keep a man after he fucks you over, can you? 53 overall when we brought him into the academy, 69 to 94 potential. He's done absolutely brilliantly, and now at 83. Probably still room to grow as well. I wonder if he has maxed out at 83 or if he's still growing. But still a very good player. And I hate it because he's a player that fucked us over and he's turned out good. And some of the players that we kept too long have turned out not good, which sucks sometimes, but it is the way it is. Fair play to him. Up next on the list 10, a man who's still with us as well. Only just got him recently on a scout report. Is Potlako Kumalo. I probably pronounced that wrong. We've loaned him out to Al Fateh. He had really good potential, I think, which is why we kept him and loaned him. Not that we're ever going to see what he can do, because this is probably the last season, but kept him and loaned him out to Saudi Arabia. He's grown quite highly in overall. I think he has quite a big jump in his overall, but we'll check it in a minute. Of course, still nowhere near where he could be. 91 sprint speed, 74 acceleration, 81 agility, 76 stamina. The finishing is getting there as well. He's still a work in progress, very much so. But his shooting stats are coming along quite well. And I think he was a Season 7 or Season 8. I think we have one last stab at a South African report just to see if we could get anyone. Well, it was real to get Shabalala. So we get one more Shabalala, but we never did. And 49 overall was where he started. 74 to 94 potential. He's only been here about 2 or 3 seasons, and he's grown that much. He's now at 69. Now, if we're going to the squad hub, you can check his growth. He has grown by 10 this season. He is definitely one to watch, but we won't be the ones to watch him because we won't be doing this season after today if we win the Champions League final. Still a very good player, and he will grow to be a great player probably down the line. Livingston be a mad challenge for you. Oh, God. Yeah, it would be. It would be. It could be fun, though. It could be quite fun. Maybe do a rebuild of that down the line. I'm still FC24 right now. I'm doing a Man United rebuild because I think I have to, the way we're going. After that, definitely taking a look at more ideas. Up next, then, a man I wish I hadn't sold, to be honest, but he wouldn't have grown past his rating, and I don't know if it would have worked out for him to get into the squad now. Prince Ibrahim, an absolute tank of a man, an absolute unit in the defence, and maybe we should have kept him, but we had to upgrade, and we did upgrade in the end, and it's worked out. But Prince Ibrahim put in so many good performances. I think it was season 7 or season 8. Put in so many good performances for us when we gave him the opportunity. I feel bad for selling him, but it was the right thing to do. 6'6", by the way, 79 rated, 80 athleticism, 80 defending. Quite fast for his size, 91 sprint speed, 80 acceleration. You actually felt it when you used him. He was actually quite fast, which is weird for a 6'6" man. 81 jumping, 82 strength, 85 stamina, 81 reactions, 74 interceptions. Decent all-round defensive stats, but at 79 rated, you'd expect it. 73 defensive awareness, tackling was good, passing and heading was good. I bloody hope so. I hope his bloody passing and heading was good for a 6'6" Leviathan. If he couldn't jump or head the ball, I'd be concerned. But, nah, very good player. We sold him to Salernitana, I think, 2 seasons ago. And we upgraded with Martin, I believe, at that point. And then we brought in De Oliveira in season 9 just to kind of avoid any doubt. But he was here a while before we sold him. He was in the youth academy for a good while. I think it was like I want to say season 3. If I could actually find his name, that'd be good. There's no chance he was a season 1. No chance. Oh, it's a season 2. Right. 53 overall, 70 to 94 potential, so he's well into his potential bracket. And he's done really well for himself. We had a lot of loans with him, and then we actually used him for a couple of seasons. He was fucking good. 6'6" with no stats. You can't complain. United, United, United. Oh, man. I hate my club sometimes, but we won yesterday. So, just about. So, it's not too bad. But I'm not excited for the weekend. I'm not excited for the Manchester Derby. Another huge centre-back now on the list. Rafa Contreras. Now, this man right here, here's a streets won't forget. He was our first centre-back, I think. We signed him on the free agency at the start of season 1. And he was an absolute beast then. And he has remained a beast. A huge man again. 6'6". Slightly less than Ibrahim in terms of ability, but still an absolute baller up the divisions. He defended with his life on most occasions. Not exactly the fastest. 79 sprint speed, 63 acceleration. Couldn't really move him that much, but the tackling was second to none. 81 jumping, 82 strength, 85 stamina, 81 interceptions. And yeah, like I said, the tackling 76 and 77. Actually not as good as I thought it was, but it's still pretty good anyway. Defensive awareness 79 and head accuracy 76. Again, you'd expect it for a 6'6" monster of a man. But yeah, he means a lot more than Ibrahim because he was season 1 and he played for us for so many seasons, did the job for so many seasons. And every time I was thinking of selling him, he had a good season, so I kept him on. But eventually, I think even the season we sold him had a good season, but eventually I knew he wouldn't grow anymore. Knew I had to part ways. We did part ways. It was the right time to do it. He didn't come through the academy. He was our first free agent, so I don't have a potential bracket for him. But we signed him in at 68 overall, and now he's 77, so he's made a good career for himself. He's in Gimnasia, which I believe, I don't remember where it is, and I don't want to assume, but I believe that's in South America somewhere. I'm just going to say it that because I don't remember where it actually is. And he's doing well over there. 77 overall. What a man. Definitely a streets won't forget. Definitely a club legend. Just for the route he took to get us up to this point. And I kind of wish he'd made it to the Premier League, but he just wasn't good enough. Unfortunately. Up next, a man that I never thought would be as good as he was. He's disappeared off the list there. I tried to find him. There he is. Rafael Gomez. Never did I think this guy was going to be as good as a 79 rated because we signed him from Carlisle. Carlisle were in League 2 at this point. But I spotted this man and he looked quite good. He's going to move from Pacos Ferreira to Copenhagen when the transfer window opens. But he's done very, very well for himself. He did very, very well for us for many a year. Our starting right back for a good while. And deservedly so as well. The performances he put in were second to none. But again, I didn't think he'd ever get this good. So fair play to Rafael Gomez. You exceeded everything I expected of you. 76 athleticism, 78 defending, 86 acceleration, 85 sprint speed, decent agility, decent balance, decent stamina. Well, really good stamina actually. 90 stamina, 78 interceptions. 75 ball control, 82 defensive awareness, 72 for slide tackles, 80 for stand tackles. Ain't too bad for a right back, I suppose. And then the crossing at 77 for a right back. You can't complain. If only we had players to head it in the back of the net, you'd had a load more assists than what he did have. But we didn't have the heading ability, unfortunately, so he didn't get the assists he could have got. But still a very good player for us, defensively sound. And we kept him for many years for good reason. But the fact that I didn't think he would do so good because he signed from Carlisle, and he absolutely exceeded everything I expected. What season did we sign him in? Season 4. One of only three players that we signed in season 4, alongside Achille Blanchard, who we know the rest is history. Malik Diop, who also the rest is history. Both fantastic players for us now. But Rafael Gomez was the one from season 4. It didn't quite make it. With a 69 overall when we signed him, and he's now grown to a 79. So he's done a lot better than I expected. And why was it Carlisle in the first place with that overall is another question, but that's for a different time, I guess. Up next, another right back, another Spaniard. We had a lot of Spaniards in this career mode, but Ramon Alonso is the next one. You might remember this man. For some reason, he's not scouted. Why didn't his scout report save? I don't understand this video game. But Ramon Alonso, up next on the list. I didn't mean to shortlist them, actually. Some of these have just disappeared now, and I don't understand why they've just disappeared now. It's very stupid from this game. But Ramon Alonso, he was our right back for a long time. I think he and Gomez kind of competed for that spot, and I think Gomez ended up winning out on it. But Alonso wasn't bad on his day. Acceleration, sprint speed, stand tackle, defensive awareness, and stamina, as you can see, his report. I don't know why it doesn't give us his whole stats. But that's the way it goes. For whatever reason, the game is stupid, and I think I've written it down here anyway. I think I wrote it down as current overall, but I want to say it was around 74, 75 area. We brought him in at 68 overall, so he's grown quite decently. He's now at Braga, which is in, of course, Portugal. I think they had quite a good season, if I remember correctly. I say if I remember correctly, I didn't even check the Portuguese league, but I'm assuming they had a good season because they seem to be up there every time. Have a good one, pal. Give us a message later if you want. Yeah, I will do, mate. No worries. I got a busy day ahead, though, with streaming the Champions League final. I think I've got to go out later as well, but I will definitely give you a message. I don't remember what the Portuguese league's called. Oh, there it is. If I could use my eyes, it'd be great, wouldn't it? Braga in 6th, just outside the European spot, so not bad, I suppose. But who are we talking about? Ramon Alonso, yeah. For whatever reason, he's reporting it short, but he was a right back for us, plenty of time on that side. Him and Gomez, I think, battled for the spot, if I remember correctly. And in the end, it was Gomez who won out, which was the right move in the end. But still a decent player for us in the kind of League One Championship days, I think it was. What season did we sign him? Season 3, so partly League 2 as well. I think he was brought in because we needed right back cover. I remember why we brought him in now, because Sutherland left, Moffat went to left back, so he brought him in at right back because Moffat was initially a right back in the wrong place at one point. Should have been a left back all along. I've got hiccups for no reason. I've not even eaten or drunk anything today. Up next on the list then, Ramon Murillo. Another wasted star. Not really a wasted star, but he kind of hit his potential early, and I wish he'd worked out for us because he was actually really good to use. But his potential, he wasn't one of the best strikers in the club, and his potential kind of grinded out early or plateaued early. And he is here now. Doesn't look very happy that he's in Pisa, to be honest. I don't know why he's so upset, but maybe because he's not in the Champions League final with us. I can understand that a bit. But Ramon Murillo, another player who's really good and one who I thought would get to the end with us at that point. And you think really early in career mode, there's a lot of players that are going to get to the end because their potentials are good, but then you realise that that's just not going to be the case. You're not going to start with all the players. You're not going to end with all the players you started with. And sometimes that's just a hard, harsh lesson of football. But he's not bad. He's doing all right in Pisa. 78 acceleration, 83 sprint speed. Agility's all right. Reactions and attacking position are all right. Finishing's pretty good at 81. Long shots and shot power decent as well, 71. He's a decent all-round striker for that level, but he was actually... I wish we could have done more with him, and I don't know if we could have done more with him, would he have gotten better? He was always showing great potential. He never got beyond that. but he could have possibly been a bit more than what he was, and I kind of feel responsible that we ruined his career a little bit, but he's still done well out of it. He was a season winner, 55 overall, 74 and 94 potential. Just falls outside that potential bracket, so we probably could have done a bit more to help him get a bit better, but he's still a decent striker for the Italian second league, so no complaints, really, surely, and a decent player all round. Up next, then, I'm trying to find it. There it is. Reece Briggs. And I believe we signed him in the academy just to sell him because he was highly rated but didn't have a lot of potential. Or I might be mixing with somebody else, honestly. There's a very high chance because there's been so many players I could be mixing him up with somebody else. I'll just try and find his scouting here. So we got him in season 5. Overall 58, potential of 65 to 89. So we did have decent potential, but I suppose, again, it was the winger thing probably as well that came into effect. Didn't want to waste players' careers here if they could make it somewhere else because we've got too many wingers that were too good already. He's managed to grow himself to a 76. His potential was 65 to an 89, so he's well in his potential bracket. And he's at Rakow, who are doing well in Poland now, and he is doing well alongside them. I don't think we ever used him, or maybe used him in many games. He was more a loan signing, or one we loaned out multiple times, I think. So that'd be why I don't think we ever saw Reece Briggs, but we did have him, and that is why he's in this report, because every players we had. Doesn't mean we had to use him, we just had to have him in the squad, and they get a little bit of spotlight at the end of the series. So take a look at his stats anyway. 82 acceleration, 87 sprint speed, 86 agility. Not bad at all. Pretty good stats for a winger. Dribbling's good. Crossing could be better. I'm wondering if he was an inverted winger because he's finishing 76. He could have probably gone on the left and done a bit better. 77 long shots as well. Yeah, I think he probably was better off the left, perhaps. But we'll never know because I don't think other clubs... It'd be cool if other clubs could do position changes, but I don't think they'll ever be able to. That's the way it is. But he's a decent right winger. Is again, just we had too many. We still have too many, to be honest with you. We're never going to get beyond the fact that we've got too many wingers. It's just the way it goes. But Reece Briggs, a very good player. Another Reece who is a very good player as well. He's out on loan. And given one more season, probably would have been involved in the lineup in some capacity. Because he's actually grown quite well. It's Reece McGregor. At first, he looked like he was destined for the stars. Then his potential went wayward a bit, but now he's recovered it. He's out on loan at Barcelona. There's not a lot of players who get loans out of Barcelona, so he's done very well to even get that step. I think he had a few minutes against us in one of the legs that we played against Barcelona, but I don't remember how many minutes exactly. Decent all-rounder. A good player to have. I don't know if he'll ever be a break into our lineup now, but a good player to have anyway. 77 athleticism, 73 technical ability, 82 passing. Decent pace for a midfielder. Maybe could move him out to the wing. Agility's good as well on the 89 there. 81 reactions. A lot of technicals in the green as well. Ball control, dribbling, free kick accuracy, long pass, long shots, curve, crossing, short pass, and shot power. Probably would be better utilised as a winger, but again, can't do it. Not enough wingers. I've just realised hold on, wait a minute. We're paying him 1.6, but he's getting 110k at Barcelona. I hope they're paying his fucking money, because there's absolutely no way I'm paying that much. And if I am, then that's fucking daylight robbery, to be honest with you. Doesn't deserve that much wage, but it's because Barcelona, they're just going to overcharge him. So, but a decent all-round player. Taking a look at his report when he first came in, he had the potential to go so far. 58 overall with 77 and 94 potential. An incredible player. And he still got into that potential bracket, but the pressure was always on him. And I don't think he's quite responded all the way to what he could have done. But still an 81 overall. Not bad whatsoever from Reece McGregor. Up next then, maybe another forgotten man. Although we only had him recently. I didn't realise we only had him recently. But Ruben Adams. Maybe we didn't have him recently because he's 23. Maybe he was a long-termer. I probably confused him with somebody else. A lot of confusion going on here. Ruben Adams, though, now at Famalicão with Martin Munoz. He's actually turned out pretty decent. 78 overall, right back there for Famalicão. And he's quite fast as well. Quite good all round. 86 acceleration, 88 sprint speed. Physicals all look good as well. Stamina's decent. Interceptions are solid. Ball control and crossing quite good for a right back. Defensive awareness is good too. The slide tackling could have a bit of work, but the stand tackle is solid. And the short passing and head and accuracy is decent as well. I don't think we ever used him. Maybe we used him on a couple of cup game occasions, but I don't think he ever broke into our lineup. And I don't remember when we got him. He might have been a season 1 for all I know. I thought he was one of the later ones. He's in fact a season 3 player, 50 overall at the time, 72 at 94 potential. You have to remember these potentials were written down as soon as they joined, so they might be skewed a bit from then on since, but that's what I'm basing it off of. And he's in his potential bracket, well in his potential bracket, at 78 rated. So he's done well for himself, but I don't think he ever would have made it with us because we always had a better player in that position, and it sucks sometimes because you always have that better player, and you can't give the other player time to see if they can prove themselves because you have that better player. It's just unfortunate, but Ruben Adams actually turned out pretty well, had a good little career in Portugal, can't complain. Up next then is a player that currently is a Hartlepool player and probably will be between the sticks for the Champions League final. It is, of course, the free agent we signed at the start of the year. If I could spell, that would be marvellous. But it is, of course, Ricardo Hurtado. I don't know who he's a region of. I want to say David De Gea, because he just retired and then this guy came into the game. So it would be a good assumption. But ultimately, I don't know. I don't know who he's the region of. I haven't checked. It is the way it is. 88 overall, 21 years of age, 6'3", so he's a very good player. 87 goalkeeping, 86 diving, 86 or 88 kicking, 80 positioning, 89 handling, 94 reflexes. Could do a bit more work on the positioning. In fact, we're just going to go put him on a positioning plan now. Not that he can grow anymore, but we'll put him on a positioning plan now anyway. Exciting prospect, and he's done really well for us this season. There's been occasions where he's a clangers, but every keeper has a clanger at times. And that is just the way it is. Ricardo Hurtado doing quite well anyway for us, and we only just signed him, so there's not really a lot of story behind him. Season 9 signing. Brought him in just purely for the Champions League campaign, and it's worked out. But I think he was 87 when we signed him, so he's gone up by 1. And hopefully he can put on an unforgettable performance if necessary against Leverkusen. Up next then on the list, it is Riley Marshall. Now, I forgot we had him as well. I recognise the name, but I don't think he did much for us. I think he's one of those where, excuse me, hiccups. One of those where he brought him in just because we needed that position filling, to be honest. And it looks exactly like that because he's 25 years of age, 63 overall. Still in Ireland, which I'm pretty sure is where we sold him to. So ultimately, not a big move really. At the end of the day, for him, 68 acceleration, 74 sprint speed, or 71 sprint speed. Sorry, 74 jumping is what I'm reading. I'm reading the wrong thing there. But nothing special, none of the technical stats in the Yeller, and I don't think he was ever going to be anything spectacular. I think he was just a make do and mend kind of signing. I think he's one of our first signings at that spot. Riley Marshall, overall 50, potential 57 to 77. So he got in his bracket quite easily, 63 overall in the end. But as we said, was never going to be anything outright fantastic. So fair play to Riley Marshall. He's made a career for himself in Ireland, just chilling out there with no real issues on his plate. Up next then, another Scotsman. I think Riley Marshall's actually English, but it's another Scotsman anyway. We had a lot of Englishmen and Scotsmen in this save, and it's another one to add to the collection. Rob Clark. Now, I may have made a minor mistake with this man early in his career, but luckily, it doesn't look like it's mattered long term. But the thing is, with Rob Clark, I dead ass forgot to put him on a development plan for long enough, and that's probably why his overall couldn't have gone to as high as it did. We sold him thinking he was shit. He's actually turned out still shit, but not completely. A very good right back from Mansfield to have, to be honest, at 70 overall. 71 at Flissum, 67 defending, 76 acceleration, 77 sprint speed, 79 stamina, 74 strength, 82 aggression, 72 interceptions, 71 ball control, 72 stand tackle as well. Not too shabby really. He's done well for himself in League 2. You can't really complain. At the end of the day, it is what it is. What can you do sometimes? But he's done well, in my opinion. He's done all right. You can't really complain about him, especially when I fucked him over by forgetting to put him on a plan all that time back. He was a season 1er, 51 overall, 63 to 87 potential. Probably could have got more than 70 overall, but he's still in his potential bracket, and he's done really well with Mansfield. But yeah, that one's on me. There's a couple here that are on me, and that one is one of them that's on me, where he could have maybe got to about 73, 74 perhaps, but I forgot to development plan him for about half a season, I think it was. Another Rob up next. It is Rob Patterson. And I don't think he didn't quite have the same situation as Rob Clark. I did actually put a development plan on him, and he just didn't turn out like he had too much potential, which is fair enough. Again, another one where we just signing everybody, needed the bodies in for a youth academy squad, so fair enough, really. 69 athleticism, 67 defending, 73 acceleration, 71 sprint speed, 80 stamina, 75 strength. Not bad all around, I suppose, for his rating. Defensive awareness, heading accuracy, and stand tackle solid for his level as well. But realistically, he was never going to succeed, and it was just a make doing men kind of signing. He's at Leganes, which it's not too bad, to be honest. It hasn't turned out too badly for him to get to Leganes. He was a season oneer, I know that, but I'm not sure how he did. He actually might have been a season twoer, and just bear with. He was the first one of season 2, so I didn't know he was a season oneer at all. 57 overall, 65 to 89 potential, so just getting into that potential bracket. But what matters is he's in the potential bracket. So fair play to Rob Patterson as well. And probably forgettable, but one of our early players as well. Up next, I believe this man is with us still. I genuinely don't know. I think I tried to offload a load of these guys purely because I don't know where I was going to put them. Robert Blomqvist was one of the newer ones we scouted. Looks quite good. He's at Jagiellonia. That is a permanent deal. It wasn't a loan. And he will grow to be someone quite good, I think. He doesn't have a potential tag, so he'll probably get high 70s. But we needed to part ways because we have too many wingers. Again, I've had the whole 9 seasons of this bastard career mode. Robert Blomqvist, 72 overall, 2.9 million worth, and he's definitely on his way to being good, but also 6'2", don't like tall wingers, so didn't really help his cause either with me. 82 acceleration, 83 sprint speed, 73 agility, 74 stamina, 79 attacking position. Decent technicals all around for what you need to be for a winger. 80 ball control, 76 dribbling, 81 finishing, 79 shot power, 74 long shots, 73 volleys. So fair play to him there. You can't complain about that. You can't be worried about that too much. And taking a look at his ratings in the academy, I think he was one of those late ones we did in our Sweden report. For whatever reason, we did like a huge late scouting report. Season 6, 42 overall, 72 at 94 potential. I'm presuming he wasn't a winger at first, and we moved him there because it was his best stats. I think I moved him there as well because I was never going to use him. He started at 42, he's out at 72. So that's huge growth, and he's just in his potential bracket as well, 72 to 94. And there's probably still room to grow there as well. So fair play to Blomqvist, overcoming the odds. Up next then, and last, at least for the day one reports, we had 3 day oneers. We've gone through Carlos Rodriguez, we've gone through Martin Munoz. The final one that we got in on the first scout report, and you might remember this name, it's a blast from the past, Ronan Cash. Now, I absolutely love this man because he's done well as a 5'6" striker, and I was honestly considering at one point bringing him back in League One area. I'm glad we didn't, don't get me wrong, because he's not really turned out to be incredible. 73 overall for the Northern Irishman. He is still at Finn Hart, so we sold him all that time ago. But he is our 3rd day oneer, and there's only one that made it. It was always going to be Carlos Rodriguez. He had the best outlook, potential to be special, kind of just sold it for me as well. But Ronan Cash ain't bad, despite being 5'6". 80 sprint speed, 80 acceleration, 82 sprint speed. Strength is decent for a 5'6" lad, more strength than Rodriguez, I think. And reactions are solid as well. 73 attacking position, finishing solid. Head and accuracy, if he can never win one, is quite good. 74 shot power and 71 volleys. He's not obviously emphatically brilliant, but he's done well for himself. Made a good little career in Ireland. Probably stat padding along all the other teams, which fair play. Why not? I'm wondering as well, and this is another one I'm going to check because he was one of our day oneers. I'm wondering how he's doing and how Finn Harps have done in the Irish League. Probably still not very good, but it'd be interesting to see. That's the wrong league. We got up to 6th. Not too bad. I think I don't know if that's partway through the season or if the season's done. I don't remember how the Irish League works. But 25 goals, all of them probably scored by Ronan Cash. Joint top scorers in the league, to be fair. Alongside first place Dundalk, so you can't complain. But I really wish all the day ones would have worked out, but sometimes it just ain't meant to be. If we go back here into Ronan Cash, his potential, if we go all the way back to the very start here, was 67 to 89, overall of 51 when we got him into the academy. He's got into his potential bracket, and that's all that really matters. 73 in terms of overall, so you cannot complain, or at least I won't complain, and hopefully he won't complain either. I really wish I could have kept all the day ones to the end, but again, you just can't sometimes. They're just not good enough, and you have to accept that, and I do have to accept that here. Up next, we're getting close to the end. We're getting there. Sorry, guys, if this is not really enjoyable, but you'll get the Champions League final later. Up next is Ronnie Hansen. And Ronnie Hansen has quite a weird history in this career mode because he was one that I was never really going to use, just going to sell him on. But I think we had a centre-back issue, so we used him. He did well, scored one of the goals of the series, edge of the area, just launched it into the top corner. It's the second best goal of this career mode, just beaten by Jack Cochran. And I think I've got the thumbnail as Ronnie Hansen, so you know which episode it was that he scored that banger. I will have to go back and look at it myself because I can't remember exactly how it went, the goal. But Ronnie Hansen remembered for that goal, and he was a solid defender on his day when we actually didn't expect to use him. He did well. 72 athleticism, 72 defending. Acceleration, sprint speed wasn't there. Agility wasn't there either. Jumping was quite good for 5'11". Strength was okay. Interceptions were solid. Defensive awareness and standing tackle were alright. He was never really going to be end game. And again, he was never really meant to be in the team at all. But he made it to the team, so fair play to him. And he done well when he was here, so I can't complain about him. Because he did good. So Ronnie Hansen, take a bow, mate. We won't forget you purely on that goal. So he'll always be a Hartlepool legend, Ronnie Hansen. He's now at Genk. I think that's where we sold him. If I take a look at what the Academy report said, I think he was a season 2-er. He might be a season 1-er. Neither of them. He was season 3. Brought him in because he was quite high overall, 61 overall at the time, 70 to 94 potential. Never quite got to those potentials of the high end, but he is in his potential bracket. 70 to 94 was his bracket. He's got to a 73, and he's probably doing quite well for Genk. But he'll be remembered for that absolute stutter he scored, at least in my eyes anyway. Up next is a man that I forgot we had. We go again. Ryan French. And he's not turned up on the list yet. Even the game forgotten, apparently. There he is. 19 years of age. He's only a recent find. We sold him to Giresunspor. I think he had decent potential anyway. Not like overwhelmingly good. But he came through the academy. I think it was season 7 when we were just doing reports for goodness knows what reason. Came in at 59 overall. Potential of 69 to 93. He's just got in his potential bracket. And as he's only 19, I'm sure there's still room to grow. We never used him. We just brought him up and sold him on, I think. I think it was the objective as well where we had to sell a certain amount of youth players for money. I don't remember the ins and outs of it. I do remember that was a thing though. 73 athleticism though, 62 defending, 62 mentality, decent pace, 87 sprint speed, 75 acceleration, jumping 78, fucking brick shithouse at the back apparently, 87 strength, 82 aggression as well, and only one of the technicals in the green, which is stand tackle, but not bad, and he's probably still got room to grow as well, so we might. Well, I mean, we won't, but he might get better in his career. So, fair play, Ryan French. Didn't remember we had you, but we have another Ryan up next that I do vaguely remember, but I don't think he ever became anything. I don't really ever used him. Ryan Watkins, free agent now. I think we sold him into a League 2 team. I want to say Mansfield, but a League 2 team definitely. And he's done alright, I suppose. I never expected him to do good. He was one of those at the start. He was a season 1-er that we just had to fill the squad. 75 acceleration, 77 sprint speed, 86 agility, 79 balance. Reaction 71. The finishing isn't very good, to be honest with you. Maybe could have moved him somewhere else. He might have done better rather than striker because his ball control dribbling is decent. Short passing and volleys are alright. Possibly a cam move might have been the move for Ryan Watkins, but I don't think it would have set the world on fire, to be honest. He's at 68 overall. If I go all the way back into the archives here, when I say the archives, I mean the shit I've written down. Um, Ryan Watkins, he might have been a season two or no, season one. 46 overall, 58 to 80 potential, so he's never going to be, superstar. But he's got well into his potential bracket that the game predicted him right in the middle of it, to be honest. 68 overall. Unfortunately, he's a free agent because he could actually do a job for some League Two team, perhaps. Maybe even move him somewhere else and he'd probably do better, perhaps. But at the end of the day, didn't really use him when we had him and don't really remember him. But wish nothing but the best for him. Hopefully, a club will snap him up. Someone stuck in my teeth. Sorry, give me a second. Up next, then, a man that I think is still with us, unless we just sold him there. I'm actually not sure. It's another Nkosi. It's Sabello. He's 18 years of age. Did we loan him or did we sell him? He's on loan at Raquel. Okay. So we still have him in the club. Sabello and Nkosi going quite well in Poland, to be honest, actually. He would be a good centre back if we were going the whole distance, the whole 15 yards, 15 seasons, so to speak. 5'11", left foot, athleticism 68, defending 72. Not very fast, not very good in terms of anything at the moment, but that's because he's only 18, so give him fucking time. Stand tackle and slide tackle very good. Short pass is decent. Heading accuracy is decent. Jumping is good as well. 5'11", a good bit of jumping on him, probably make him a very good aerial threat. So he's definitely got ways to go. What was his growth this season so far? +3. Probably still has an okay potential as well to go into. I think he was showing great potential when we loaned him out. So hopefully he'll have that when he comes back for himself, but we'll just see. But anyway, Sabello and Kosi, not really much to tell there, not really much of a story to say, but we will find what his rating is. Came from the academy season 7, 59 overall, 68 to 92 potential. So I believe, yeah, he's already in his potential bracket, but there's still room to grow for this man, and I won't be surprised if he does grow into a very good player. Up next then, Sam Baldwin. Man I do not remember, but he is on the list, so he does get reviewed. I mean, he puts the bald in Baldwin, I'll tell you that much. He is now at Altai. He went to Saudi early. We went in the Saudi League at 23, but I suppose he's got to grab the bag, which is fair enough, although he's only earning 9.2k a week, which is more than some of our players are still earning now, to be honest, because I just forget to do the contracts. It's fine. Anyway, Sam Baldwin, he's at Altai. 74 athleticism, 71 defending. He might actually be in the Qatari League rather than the Saudi League. I don't remember where Altai is based. 70 acceleration, 81 sprint speed, 78 jumping, 76 strength, 79 stamina, 72 reactions. Slide tackle and stand tackle around the 70s. Passing, ball control, heading 70s as well. Not a bad player, not a bad turnout for Sam Baldwin. I do not remember him. He's either a really early one that we had to fill in the squad and I never used, or he's a later one that we got out of that report for whatever reason. And due to his age, I think he was probably an earlier one. But where? Sam Baldwin, season 2. 50 overall when he came to the academy, 72 to 94 potential, so he's just outside his potential bracket, but I'm sure he'll break in. He's still got plenty of time on his side, and it was very high potential that it gave him in the first place. But I don't actually think we ever used him, and I'm sure he would have been alright. 6'1" as well. So a bit of a monster in defence. Not too shabby. Up next is another Sam, but he doesn't like to be called Sam because Sam is not good enough for him. He is called Samuel Porter. And I always remember I used to call him Sam Porter and he got really mad. But here he is. He is now at Sparta Rotterdam. He is 70 overall with 23 years of age on the clock. I thought he was going to be something actually special. I thought I might regret selling him down the line. Turns out that it was right to move him on. He hasn't done fantastically, but he's done alright. 70 athleticism, 69 defending, not too bad. Speed's decent, 79 acceleration, 72 sprint speed. The physicals are alright all round for a 70 rated player, to be honest. You can't really complain about it really too much. But the technicals, not fantastic. Defensive awareness is 76. Standing tackle is 73. Heading accuracy is 75. That's all I can really pinpoint there. The passing's alright too. But I thought he could have been something, and he ended up being not really too much, but not bad, I suppose, for Sparta Rotterdam. A decent option to have. 70 rating isn't the worst. As we go look at Samuel Porter, I believe he was also a season 2er. He was 54 overall, 73 to 94 potential. The game put a lot of expectation on him, and he hasn't exceeded that. He hasn't even got into his potential bracket, which, to be fair, I can probably partly put on me. I don't think we really used him when we had him. I think we loaned him out as well later than we should have done. So I'll put that on me. We did use him a little bit, and he was quite good, but maybe he could have been better. Probably could have been better with the potential the game put on him. Up next is a contentious one because I really like this player, but when we moved his position, he was far too good for the level we were at. We had no choice but to sell him. Savka Nezovic, an absolute baller of a cam, was always in the mindset of potentially bringing him back to back up whoever we had. Was thinking of bringing him back in January and sending Maresca the other way. Glad I didn't, because Maresca's been a baller. But Savka Nezovic, he's an interesting one, really, because he's the Ivan Perisic regen. You wouldn't believe it, the way his career trajectory has gone. But it was the Ivan Perisic regen who was left wing back at the start. All the stats were wrong. We signed him as a 67 rated left wing back. Expected him to just play him at left back. Saw that he was actually probably not a left wing back or a left back at all. Did a position change. He was then 78 overall when he went to cam. God knows what it would have been if we put him to the wing. But we put him to cam, of course, because wingers, we had too many of them. We immediately loaned him out upon this knowledge. I did use him up until January on occasion because he was still in the club. But even then, he wasn't actually too good for his rating, which was weird. Loaned him out to Bayern, I believe it was. And then we sold him in the summer. It's a bit of a step down from Bayern. We sold him to Norwich. Then he went on to Bournemouth, and then I believe he went to Inter after that. So he's had a bit of a career path. And he's quite a good player on the stats of it, on the basis of the stats. But again, it was just an unfortunate occurrence that we couldn't really use him for ourselves. 83 athleticism, 81 passing, technical ability is not bad as well. 94 acceleration, 94 sprint speed. He's definitely a winger, but goodness knows what rating he would have ended up as. 87 agility, 90 balance, 86 attack positioning. Ball control's good, dribbling's good. Long pass, long shots, volleys, shot power, short pass, finishing, crossing, all in the green. Quite a good all-round cam, to be honest. Although he would have been better as a winger, but goodness knows, he would have been way too good for us, even more than what he already had been when we changed the position in the first place. And it's good that he's made a career for himself. I just wish he'd actually been a left back and we could have used him a bit, but not to be. Up next, the man I think it was our first departure out of the youth academy, if I remember correctly. I think we actually sold him in season 1. I'm presuming he'll be a free agent because goodness knows what he turned out to be. He's actually at Finn Harps, which I think was where we sold him all those years ago. It seems to be that Finn Harps and us have a little trade for the lower rated players of our side back in the day. We seem to have a little agreement with him because we sold quite a few players there, as it seems. Scott Pearce, the latest one, 65 overall, didn't really amount to anything. Didn't expect him to be too good anyway. Again, he was one of those that we just needed at the start. 72 acceleration, 74 sprint speed, not the fastest on wingers. Agility's good though. Balance is alright. And you know what? For a 65 rated player, the technicals aren't awful. Quite a decent, well-rounded player. Ball control, dribbling could be better, obviously. I mean, they could all be better, but not really that bad. I'm not going to be too mean to him because I don't really remember him too much, truth be told. We sold him really early on, which means we know he was a season 1er. Take a look at what he had coming through the academy. Scott Pearce, 52 overall, 59 to 79 potential. He's made it well into his potential bracket despite not being fantastic, so you can't complain. With 65 overall, he's well in there. But I do not remember him too much. I think we sold him early because he was quite good. Not quite good. He was quite low potential, but quite good overall at that point, which makes sense to me. Up next, then, a man who is very lucky, to be honest, that he's going to be starting the Champions League final because he wouldn't have done otherwise. And we only just signed him. I think you know who I'm on about. The Hyung Min Son regen. Seo Yun Young. There is 2 of them, but we have the left winger variant. He is the regen of Hyung Min Son. We were considering signing him for the objective where we had to sign Asian players. Didn't think we needed him at that point because we had Wilson and somebody else. I can't remember who else. We'd have somebody else behind Wilson. And in the end, I think we sold who we were going to keep. I think it might have been Thomas Bishop. It will come to assume. It might not have been. I don't remember. There was quite a few left. We're going through our fucking fair share of wingers, I'll tell you that much. But Seo Yun Young, an absolute baller of a player. He will be one of the best in the world. For Duncan Wilson, it would have been a dream to start him in that Champions League final. Unfortunately, we can't, and it sucks arse. But he's going to be in the crowd watching his team cheering us on. And if we lose, he will start in the next one, no doubt. I don't care if Young is a higher overall at that point. Wilson will get his Champions League moment in season 10 if we lose today in season 9. CEO Young, 88 overall. Athleticism is very good. I mean, all his stats are very good. This isn't even a finished article. This is just him getting better. He's not even at his peak. 98 acceleration, 96 sprint speed, 99 agility, 94 balance, 85 stamina. 88 attack position, 85 vision, 88 ball control, 90 dribbling, 83 crossing, 78 finishing, 86 short pass, 81 shot power. You can see the rest. They're not as good because he's not quite a finished article yet, as we know. But he's at 88 already, potential to be special. A long, long way to go before he's done growing. He's very close to 89. And we're keeping him on the wide playmaker plan just to improve all the passing stats, really. Doesn't need the shooting ones as much. Fucking hiccups. I can't get him to go away. But an absolute baller of a player. 5-star, 5-star as well. Complaining about his contract, which we can renew at some point, maybe. I mean, he's not bad, 53k. And honestly, it might be the last episode, so I'm not really dwelling on it too much. So, of course, we brought him in season 9. I think we brought him in at 85 rated. We did. He's now grown to an 88, and he can still go further. Brought him from Toulouse. I believe it was like 60 million we paid at that point, or maybe a bit more. Might have been 80 million. Fuck those. But we paid a lot for him, and it's worked out. We'll make profit on him, whatever happens. If we sell him, we won't sell him. But if we were to sell him, we'd make profit on him. And before we get to our other mad regen, we've got someone sandwiched in between who you might remember, Shane McDonald. Now, I had so high hopes for this guy because he started off so well for us. But the potential just plateaued so early, and I really wish it hadn't because he was such a good character, such a good player. But as you can see, the potential plateaued so early, and I had a horrible feeling it would. But I really wish it hadn't, because he was so fun to use, and he was very good for us in that defensive area. 6'4", you can't complain about a huge boy at the back. I mean, that sounds really weird the way I've put that. Athleticism 69, defending at 63, acceleration 69, sprint speed 78, not bad for a tall human being. Strength 80, jumping could have been better actually for a 6'4" beast, but you can see that he didn't quite make it, and he was never going to quite make it, unfortunately. But one of my favourite players, and I know he'll probably be forgotten by many who've watched this save, but remembered by me because he was one I really wanted to succeed, and I knew he wouldn't, but sometimes you have to wish upon a dream. 46 overall, 62 to 84 potential. Could have probably grown a bit further, but just didn't, and it sucks. But he got into his potential bracket. That's all that matters. 62 to 84 was the area. He got 64 rated, and he's at Petrolol, which I think is where we sold him in the first place. Just ploughing away, just grinding away, trying to get something. And I would look at where Petrolol are, but I don't. Oh, it's told me they're in Romania. I was gonna say I don't know where Petrolol is, so I was not going to check it. But then it told me it was in Romania. Why can't I go like from the bottom and then up the other way? Why do I have to just scroll straight down? I'm presuming they're near the bottom. They're actually 10th. I'm presuming also that McDonald doesn't start for them, but fair play if he does. And we'll get to the other regen that's going to be mad for us, which I'm kind of regretting signing because it feels a bit broken. But it was on the free agents. You can't turn down a bargain like Taha Ali. An absolute baller on the sticks. He is, of course, if you haven't pieced it together, the Mohamed Salah regen. Of course he is. He is an absolute fucking baller. I think he's got more contributions than Roberts, but we're probably going to still start Roberts for the Champions League final because he's day one or season one. But Taha Ali definitely gets some minutes on that pitch in that Champions League final. Deserves it this season. More contributions than the Welshman Ethan Roberts. 96 acceleration, 99 sprint speed, 94 agility, 99 balance. What is that? 89. Decent stamina, 86 attack positioning as well. A lot in the green here. 93 ball control, 92 dribbling, 91 finishing. I could go on. I mean, I can go on. 91 shot power, 87 short pass. You can see the rest. Absolute baller of a man. And excuse me, I didn't mean to press that. At 91, he's not even done. He's not even done yet. Potential to be special. Still could grow to a minimum 92. But even further than that. Why isn't it? I'm using the wrong stick. That's why it's not scrolling. But we're going to put him on a passing plan actually because the inverted winger, as much as it makes sense, he's actually right-footed. Although he's got a 5-star weak foot, so it doesn't really matter what side he takes it on. But for whatever reason, he's a right-footed when Salah was left, which is an interesting one. I don't think it matters what foot they are, the pre-gen and the regen, but it's still an interesting one to me. But he is definitely going to have some minutes in the Champions League final. Taha Ali, a banging right winger. And of course, he was a season niner. I think we signed him at 88 off the free agents. He's now up to a 91. So 3 growth there. Still could grow further, which is absolutely phenomenal. Up next, then, a man that we might forget, but I do remember him because he actually turned out quite decent. I didn't expect him to be honest, because he was really just for another one of those that was for an objective. Teddy Austin. Cool name. Decent player on his day. But he really was just for an objective. And in the end, we sold him. He's not done bad. I don't think he would have ever made it here, but we probably sold him way too soon, to be honest with you. We loaned him out for a bit and then we moved him on. But we probably did that way too soon because he turned out to be half-decent midfielder there for FC Sion. Decent speed, 84 acceleration, 85 sprint speed, 86 agility, 81 balance. Most of his physicals in the green, 80 reactions as well. A lot of his technicals in the green as well. Ball control, dribbling, free kick accuracy, long pass, long shots, finishing, short pass and penalties. Possibly could have been pushed up to a striker looking back at this. Maybe if he had been, might have done a bit better. But still done very good anyway. A lot better than I expected. I think he was a season 5er because I remember having to sign him for a objective in that season. It was 72 overall when he came in. And he's ended up being 79 overall. So he's done quite well. A lot better. The fact that he's actually grown, I didn't expect him to grow, to be honest with you. Especially not 7 overall. So he's done quite well in those few seasons. And he's happily away with Sion there in the Swiss League. So you can't complain. Up next on the list then, a man that we spoke about earlier, but we're going to bring him back up just now. Or we didn't really speak about him earlier, just a brief mention. It is Thomas Bishop. And it's not the goalkeeper, it is the winger. He's now at Wolfsburg. And realistically, there was nothing wrong with him, to be honest with you. I probably could have quite happily kept him, and we could have gone again this season. But I think we needed an upgrade at the left wing spot, a backup upgrade, and that's why I brought in CO Young, and it's worked wonders because we would have had to use, if we kept with the Bishop idea, we'd have had to use Bishop in the Champions League final. And as much as I quite like Thomas Bishop, the Aussie, I didn't trust him in the Champions League final to put on a performance. I trust Young a bit more. But he's not turned out too bad. We've done well with him, and then we sold him on to Wolfsburg. He's got 88 acceleration, 95 sprint speed, 90 agility, 82 balance, 81 attack position as well as a lot of technical stats in the green. Ball control, dribbling, free kick accuracy, long shots, curve, crossing, finishing, short pass, shot power and volleys all in there. So he's a very handy winger for Wolfsburg to have. It's just I didn't see a future for him here. He plateaued at 83, of course, and I want to see how Wolfsburg are doing. That's why I'm going for here. And I don't think he would have gone any further. And I feel like making the move from there, selling him and Hobbs, who we obviously sold as well, and we saw that in the first part of this, it was just a smart idea to me. It just felt like the right thing to do. It felt like the correct thing to do. And we did it with no worries, really, to be honest. How did Wolfsburg do? They're in Europe, to be fair. Thomas Bishop's made it to Europe, 6th place. Only 3 points, or 2 points, actually, off a Champions League spot. Off a 3rd place, actually. Which is a close little battle there. What's up, Jolan? How are you doing, man? How's Hartlepool doing? Which league are they in? And how are you, of course? I'm doing alright. I'm doing well. And with Hartlepool, we might be ending the series today because this afternoon, after I've done this, later on, we'll be playing the Champions League final. So it could be the last day of Hartlepool today. We can move on to FC 24. In the league, in the Premier League, we won it quite considerably in the end. The other teams seemed to capitulate a little bit, and we took full advantage of that. We won the league by 9 points with a lot of goals. So we've done very well there. In the FA Cup, we don't talk about that. We lost to Man United in the round of 16, which sucks. But the Champions League, yeah, we're in the Champions League final. We're playing that this afternoon. And we'll be getting, hopefully, this series to a conclusion. But maybe not. If we lose, we go into Season 10. But in Season 10, I'll only be doing the Champions League games. I'm not playing the whole bloody thing again. And maybe I'll do the whole thing in one video where we'll highlight one leg and play the other leg kind of thing. But that was our group. Absolutely destroyed it. Defeated Galatasaray in the round 16. Defeated Barcelona in the quarters. Defeated Arsenal in the semis. And we made it to the final. So that is the route to the final as well, which I will show when we do it later as well. But that is how we are doing. I'm just doing a where are they now based on the previous players we've had. We're nearly at the end of it, to be honest. But basically, it's just explaining what players we had, where they've gone, and how they've done, kind of thing. We're only about 10 players off of finishing this, so not too bad there. Up next on the list, though, is a player that I didn't want to sell, but didn't really have enough time to develop either. It was one that went with Finlay Ward, I think. Thomas Pope, New Zealander. He went to Turkey and he's still showing great potential. I'm sure he will be a brilliant player, but we just didn't really have the room for him. And I feel like selling him was better than loaning him out, give him a future elsewhere. I just didn't expect it to be an Antalyaspor, but that's the way it goes sometimes. 73 overall, 19 years of age, 68 acceleration, 74 sprint speed. The agility is very good though. Still a lot of work to do, but technicals are decent as well. So not a bad little player, Thomas Pope, but definitely a lot of work still to be done with him. I'm sure he'll get there. I'm sure he'll do really well. And I believe he was one of the season 7ers or season 6ers. He was 59 overall when we brought him in, 69 to 94 potential, and he's at 73 potential, so he's in that potential bracket. But he's still got room to grow as well, so I'm not even going to write him off saying it. He's just going to end at 73. But we couldn't really use him because we had too many good players at that point, and it was better just to see what he could do elsewhere. Now, this is a fucking throwback. This is one hell of a throwback. The next player, you might remember him if you watched from day one, Tiziano Conti. What a name, if nothing else. The first goalkeeper we had after Stolarczyk, who was our real player that we had to keep until we actually got a goalkeeper in. But Tiziano Conti, an absolute error-prone mess of a goalkeeper, but that was what made him so funny. He was brought in because he had a high overall straight away. 63 overall, what he had when he came into the academy. Potential was shit, 54 to 76. He's still in his potential bracket, but that's kind of cheating because he started in his potential bracket. 66 overall. He is now at Luzern in Switzerland. Never anything too special, but my God, was it funny to use him, and he did concede a lot. When we got Logan Duncan in, I was so happy because it meant we could drop this man. He hit his potential very early, but he's done alright since, I suppose. 67 diving, 66 kicking. Positioning is quite... I mean, it's all quite shit, really. 62 positioning, 64 handling, 69 reflexes. Never really made it, but 6'4" will help out quite a bit for him. And he's in Switzerland as well. So fair play to Tiziano Conti. Up next, then, how many have we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 players left to go. And of course, both of these will... Well, the first part is already up on YouTube, but the second part will go up this afternoon, and then we will be doing the Champions League final against Leverkusen, which is going to be huge. I'm excited for it personally. If we lose, I'll be very upset because we've got a team to win it, but it's just, you know, the emotion. The stage is set, really. Up next, as you can see on the screen, is Tommy Sheehan. This was the man who I think I referenced in part 1. There was a high-rated Irish player that had no potential. I think this was him. Because he had a high rating when we brought him in, but he hasn't really grown. So the potential's kind of fallen apart. 72 acceleration, 72 sprint speed, 81 agility, 73 balance are the ones to pick out from his physicals. Not really any mental stats. They're too great. And the technicals aren't fantastic. Ball control's alright. Long shot's decent, though. Not really awful. Some passing stats as well. Decent there. Not really. I knew he wasn't going to succeed, which is why we brought him up. And sold him on pretty much immediately. But he was high rated, so that's why we brought him up and sold him on immediately. I can't remember what season we brought him in. He was season 3, I think, along with the other Irish contingent. 61 overall when we brought him into the academy. 53 to 73 in terms of potential, which, to be fair, is a low gap, really. A low bar to set. He already started well in his potential bracket. He's still at the high end of it. But you're expecting him to maybe even go further, perhaps. At 68 rated, not great. But, yeah, he was always a player we're just going to sell on. But, you know, he's done alright for himself. Sarpsborg, he's thriving in Germany. I don't know what league they're in. They're actually Norwegian, not German. I am an idiot. My apologies. When are you playing the Champions League final? I'm going to be playing it this afternoon. I don't know what time zone. I can't remember what time zone you're in, but 2 p.m. UK time, around that kind of area. But just keep an eye out on the notification because that's when it'll be about around 2 p.m. UK time, maybe between 2 and half 2. I'm going to definitely play it today though because I want, as much as I love these boys and this series, I'm so excited to move on to something different. So excited to do it. Up next then on the list, Vicente Ojeda. We've mentioned him a couple of times. No, I'm not playing until then. No, I'll be stopping the I'll be stopping the stream after I've done these players and then coming back. Coming back at that time. I need to go out, so I'll be taking a break between then coming back to do it. I should have explained that better, my apologies. But yeah, Vicente Ojeda up next. Actually, quite a good winger, but we had better, which is why he got sold in the end. And he's doing well at Valencia, so you can't really complain. So he's done well out of that. Do you want to play a match against me on AFC 24? I will do after the Champions League final, after I've done the Champions League final, because after this I've got an appointment I need to go to. Then I'll come back, and probably by that time it'll probably be time to do a Champions League final. But after I've done that, then yeah, I'm done. I'll give you a game. I'm absolutely awful though, as you've seen in these career modes, so you probably win. But yeah, I'm happy to give you a game. 80 overall then, 24 years of age for Jada. It's worked out for him. He always had good potential, just not with us, unfortunately. 74 athleticism, 77 passing, 86 acceleration, 85 sprint speed, 84 agility, 81 balance, 77 stamina, 80 positioning, 76 vision. And actually, really good technical stats as well. The ball control, dribbling, free kick accuracy could be a bit better, but I can't really complain because we don't have anyone that's good at free kicks. Long shots, curve, crossing, short pass, all very good as well. Finishing and shot power are also decent. And when we brought him in, we knew he was going to be good. I just didn't know if he was going to make the final cut for us, and unfortunately, he didn't. I think he was a season oneer, Vicente Ojeda. All the way back when. 54 overall, 74 or 70 to 94 potential. He's at 80 overall, so he's well in his potential bracket, and he's done brilliantly to get to where he is. Especially when I load him out. I think I loaded him out about 6 times. He just kept growing and growing, but not quite enough to get into the first team, which is unfortunate for him. But he's doing well in Valencia, and while we're here as well, we've seen another player at Valencia. I might as well check where Valencia are in the Spanish league. Well, I'm doing this for a couple of players that I really am bothered about. La Liga Santander, Villarreal, or not Villarreal, Valencia. They're in 8th. It's a decent finish. Decent finish there. Up next, the man is still with us and will probably be the next left winger after the ones we've got because he is quite good, it turns out. But we brought in Seo Yun Young. We probably could have just kept Lindgren around because he's grown really well. 84 overall now for Victor Lindgren. He was quite fun to use when we used him, but then we loaned him out just because we brought in Young at the end of the day. 83 acceleration, 89 sprint speed, 97 agility, 86 balance, 80 stamina, 75 reactions, not too shabby. The technical stats are very bloody good. 94 ball control, 94 dribbling, 85 long shots, 81 curve, 82 finishing. Wonder if he could be an inverted winger off the other side, but then he'd have to go behind Roberts and Ali. So it's going to be difficult for him to break back in, which he might not need to if we win today. So taking a look at technical stats, a good, decent all-rounder. And yeah, not too shabby there for Victor Lindgren, to be fair. He's still with us, as we know, out on loan, grown by 5. I don't know how his stats look for Milan. We can only see the Champions League ones. And he's had an assist in the Champions League. So fair play to him. We managed to avoid him in the knockout rounds, thankfully. Because he probably would have ended up just being really good against us. But he was part of the Swedish lot that came, I think, with Paul Persson and Jesper Karlsson. And he actually might have been a season later. No, because we've done 2 Swedish scout reports, I think. He might be 2 seasons later. Oh, yeah. Season 6 we brought him in. 62 overall when we brought him into the academy. 70 to 94 potential. He has done very well because he is now 84. so you can't really complain on that part. Only a few players to go now, and where are they now? Up next is a man that we again signed for an objective. Probably shouldn't even be included in this, but he's in the club, so he's in the scout report. Wei Sheng Chi. We just signed cheap free agents to get him or to get the objective done in season 8. I think it was. We were really close to being sacked for some reason. Season 9, we're not in that much of a problem area. But the one this year, I think, was sign players born in America or Asia again. And we haven't done that. I'm not going to do that. But we had to do it for Season 8, otherwise I would have been sacked. 63 goalkeeping, so he's quite shit. And yeah, the stats they're not very good. I'm transfer listed. I was thinking of releasing him, but either way, he still had to be in the Where Are They Now because he's been a part of Hartlepool. So not really much to say about him other than he was brought in for an objective. 6'4", does lend favour to him if he ever wanted to be half decent, but I don't see him being anything too special. I think we've got him on the development plan, but he's pretty much at his potential, which is very concerning, to be honest with you. So we're going to try and move him on. We've had plenty of offers, but nobody wants to pick him up, and understandably so. Up next, then, fourth to last now, is the only ex-player in the squad. You might have forgotten him because it was a while back, but it is Chisco Medina. And I quite like this lad, to be honest with you. Again, I think we had an influx of centre-backs as well, and it was just, I didn't really see him growing. And honestly, he's done quite well compared to what I thought he would do. He's in the 70s. I didn't expect him to get 70s. I thought he'd just be 60s his whole career. So fair play to him for proving me wrong. He's still at Crew, which I think is where we sold him. But he's probably one of the best defenders in League 2 now. So fair play to Chisco Medina. Not actually bad stats either. Athleticism 75, defending 74. Acceleration and sprint speed are alright. Agility is decent. Jumping and strength are quite good. For a 6'1" centre back, he probably wins most of his aerial battles as well. Slide tackle, stand tackle in the green, passing in the green. Defensive awareness could be a bit better, but he's for League 2, probably one of the best defenders. Probably could get a club in League 1. And maybe Crew are in League 1, I don't know. They are in League 1, so that's probably why he's doing so well there. Just out of interest, how are they doing in League 1? I've scrolled past it because I'm an idiot. Who knew? Well, I mean, everyone knew. But Crew, did they get relegated? Did they stay up? They stayed up, to be fair. So did Bradford. Sheffield Wednesday down in League 2 is mad, you know. But Chisco Medina doing well there. And I will find his Youth Academy report that I've written down in a moment when we get back to him on here. He was a early signing. Was he a season 1er or was he a season 2er? I don't remember. He was late season 1. 52 overall. 67 to 89 potential. So he's got into his bracket, to be fair. I didn't expect him to be honest. One of the ones I didn't expect to actually make it into their potential bracket. But he's done so well. And he's in League 1 now. Fair play to him. Third from the end, then another Spaniard on the list. It is a man who we signed not long ago, but then also sold not long ago too. Iago Flores. He's now at Newcastle. I know that because we swapped him for Kieran Trippier regen. We learnt that last part as well because I thought that George Dickinson was the Kyle Walker regen. Actually, Kieran Trippier regen. Who knew? But anyway, Iago Flores. We swapped him for George Dickinson. And he went the other way to Newcastle. Still a very good player, but Dickinson was that kind of next level player. Ironically, we got a Trippier regen from Newcastle. 91 acceleration, 83 sprint speed. All his physicals are in the green, actually. I'm not going to read them all out, but agility, balance, and stamina stand out there. Mentals are quite good as well, especially for a right back. And the technicals actually aren't fantastic, which is a bit weird, but the defensive ones are alright. 76 defensive awareness, 79 slide tackle, 82 standing tackle. Defensive ones are what really matter at the end of the day, and he's not awful. I mean, obviously he's 81, so he can't be awful. But we needed an upgrade to back up Aitor Miranda, and Flores, as good as he was, wasn't the right guy. We went for a step up in George Dickinson, so we only sold him last season, Mr. Iago Flores, but quite good as well. I think we signed him in season 7 or 6. I'm just checking now. Season 7. And he was 78 when we signed him. He's grown to an 81. I think he had already hit his potential when we brought him in. But we managed to squeeze a bit more growth out of him, so not too shabby there from Iago Flores. A good right back for while we had him as well. I think he started before we brought in Miranda. Or did we bring in Miranda the same season? No, Miranda was season 8, so Iago got our first Premier League season. Iago Flores got the starts, so you gotta respect that. And he's doing quite well at Newcastle. We'll check Premier League table after. Second to last then, a man you might not have heard of. Zachary Jacobs. We only just recently sold him, I think, actually. He might actually not have been sold. He might be on loan. He's at Giresunspor, but he has just been sold. I think we sold him this season. And he is a decent striker. Lost his potential tag, but he is going to get high 70s probably. It's just he came too little too late for us, and we didn't need a striker. So we sold him on, made the money. Fair play to us. Take a look at the stats. 80 acceleration, 87 sprint speed, 78 agility, 75 stamina, 74 attack position. The technicals aren't great, but he's still young, so we're not going to dwell on it too much. Shot power, volleys, and finishing are in the green, and that's all that really matters for a striker. I'm sure he's banging them in for Giresunspor, but we didn't really need him. And I believe he was one of those ones that we got later on, like Season 6, Season 7, Scout Report. He is a Season 5. So I was close. 51 overall, 72 to 94 potential, 69 overall as it stands, but he will grow further, so he will get into that potential bracket eventually. And then the final man to end this mammoth fucking reading of players, about 140 odd players in the end that we've gone through, been for the academy, been for the team, sold and kept. I can't believe we've gone through so bastard many, to be honest, but the final one is one that we still possess and one that will start the Champions League final. It is Zakaria Peters. Now, if you aren't aware, I know he's a CDM. For whatever reason, his defensive stats are better than his attacking stats, but he is the Kevin De Bruyne regen that we brought in just to completely revolutionise that DM position. Malik Diop was doing a hell of a job, don't get me wrong, but he was making too many mistakes, and we needed someone who wasn't making many mistakes. Enter Zakaria Peters. Kevin De Bruyne regen, potential to be special, absolute baller of a man. All the summary in the green apart from the shooting, which is 70, which is close. Physicals, all dark green, an absolute all-round beast. Acceleration 84, sprint speed 83, agility 91, balance 92, jumping 87. For a 5'7" man, that's pretty good as well. 97 stamina, 84 strength, 90 reactions, and even the mentals are all in the green. 88 aggression, 73 composure, 84 interception, 79 attack position, and 80 vision. And there's only a few here that are in the yellow, and that's the attacking stats. That's why I thought he was better being brought back a bit into the DM role, because he's got better defensive stats, as you can see just about. It's a close one. The other ones that aren't in the green: free kick accuracy, long shots, volleys and penalties. He's an all-round absolute god of a man, and we've done so well to pull him off. We had to pay quite a lot for him, though. We had to pay, I think, around 50 million or 60 million, as well as Jackson Barlow going the other way to Angers, which was his former club. But if we go to Squad Hub here, look at the development plans. He has got a long, long way to go as well. Only a few weeks to 90. He's going to have the weak foot of 5-star weak foot eventually as well. And the defending stats, it's just an all-round beast. The only thing that lets him down is his shooting, but we don't really need his shooting when he's going to be a DM rather than an attacking mid. But KDB isn't CDM though. It looks like another player regen. KDB has better attacking stats. No, it is a KDB regen because he was centre mid and cam. He was centre mid and cam when we brought him in, but for whatever reason he had better defensive. I don't know why he had better defensive stats, but I can promise you that it is the KDB regen. I'll even compare birthdays, because the only reason I brought this guy in is because he was the Kevin De Bruyne regen. It might not be. If it isn't after all his time, I'm going to be very upset. So KDB's birthday is the 28th of June. If I go into here, I mean, I might be wrong. There's a slight chance I might be wrong, but I think it is KDB's regen. So 28th of June for KDB and Zakaria Peters. Yeah, 28th of June. It is the Kevin De Bruyne regen, but because EA is stupid, it's given him with better defensive stats and attacking stats. So I put 2 and 2 together and made him a DM. But it is the KDB regen, and he's even got the number 17 because Kevin De Bruyne. It is really weird. I don't understand how it's come out like that. That he has better defensive stats and attacking stats. I don't. It's. I'd like to use him as attacking midfielder, and that was the plan initially. But he's got his defensive stats are way better, so we just pushed him back, and he's done wonders there. I'm not opposed to it. He's done really well for us. I think he's had quite a lot of assists from DM as well. I think he only has the one goal, but I think his as a DM. Hold on, I've fucked this up somehow along the way. 2 goals and 7 assists from defensive mid ain't awful. He's not got the same numbers as KDB, but if I move him back, I think it takes a while. So centre mid is 28 weeks, and Cam's 70. He came in with a high defensive work rate and low attacking work rate as well, so it just made sense to throw him into the defense. He's a weird one because I would love to have him as an attacker, but might as well play to his strengths really. But that is the end of all the bastard players that have ever appeared in this career mode, man. 141 players, I think, was the count. We have a part 1 as well where we did from A to L, and today we've done from M to Z. So that is every wording now completed. They'll both be up on the channel, part 1 and part 2. But this afternoon, in just a few hours' time, Champions League final. The stage is set. Unfortunately, we have to play at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I don't pick the rules, apparently. But Bayer Leverkusen and Hartlepool United will vie both, I think, for their first ever Champions Leagues. Leverkusen might have won one throughout this save, actually. I don't remember. But as far as I'm aware, both will go for their first Champions League titles. I'm hoping we can win it. I'll do a little scout report as well before the Champions League final just to show you how far this team has come. But in a couple hours' time, I will do that. So be here. Check out look out for the notification. Or if you don't see a notification, of course, it'll be on the YouTube channel after. But you really want to be in the Twitch stream for this. It's only a one-time thing. The 29th of February. Had to do it on a special day, the leap year, because it is a special day for the Hartlepool squad. But I hope you guys have enjoyed these Where Are They Nows. I will see you in a couple of hours for the Champions League final. Take care and peace.